Welcome everyone to Couples Menacing Otari. I'm a professional streamer. How is everyone
Whatever
today?
you say, Matt. We believe you.
I honestly think I'm just rusty. Like I had the stream on Sunday, but there's
But
also the
and
whole
we all
sleep
know
thing.
that we're the mainstream, so it was it's understandable that you had that one.
I mean, just because you do better numbers than my Australian stream doesn't make you the
Wait, we
mainstream.
do?
You do.
Oh,
Well, that's because we're American patriots.
No.
oh, then no.
I was gonna say
No.
more time zone. Also, yeah, no, pretty much just the time zone. And my other campaign is at level 20 now, so it's actually kind of hard for people to follow during combat.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's impressive, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've gone from 1 to 20. We got one session left, and
you got
then
one session left.
yep, it's the last session's the final boss encounter where they will be facing down the campaign boss.
Da da dun dun. Da 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 dun.
Pretty much.
Does it have to do anything with being a detective at this point, or is it just planar warriors?
Planar warriors, pretty much. They're about to fight a demigod. And there's like 5 or 6 different endings I've written up for it, so we'll see how the actual fight goes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Sean did up some bonus monsters for me, in case things get a little bit screwy. So that'll be very interesting. But, how is everyone else?
I'm doing
Tired.
pretty alright.
I'm in the tired category too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's just kind of Mondays for everyone, even though it's Tuesday for me.
Mainly, my body decided that it didn't want to grab 7 hours of sleep and it only wanted 2.
Yeah.
So hey,
Sounds like somebody has a case of the Mondays.
yeah, it's a bit worse when I work an 8-hour shift before going to bed.
Yeah.
This coffee just keeps me alive.
I must admit, I'm thankful I don't have to do the whole shift work thing anymore. Because it kind of sucked.
How is it being the full-time designer, developer, or whatever you call it?
Lead
Looks
game
hard.
designer for Sinclair's Library, it's been good so far. We're still kind of
Designer.
working out all the kinks with how everything goes and how everything's managed and everything else like that. But no, it's been really good so far. We've got all the extra designers on board. Louis Loza joined over the weekend. I need to touch base with him in the next day or two before I go to Brisbane. But it's been a really great experience so far. I mean, I've been enjoying it. And we're still on schedule for the almanac to be completed on time, and same with the codex.
Very good.
I still need to finish some of that work.
Yes, but we're still on schedule, that's the thing.
Yes, I know. I'm really happy for that.
And we're not going to start cracking the whip really until August, but I'm pretty sure we should be pretty much done with the almanac by August, or at least sending it off to playtest. The professional playtesting, anyway, if you can call it that. It's weird. It's a weird process. But everyone else is doing well? More or less?
I did some gay stuff and released a supplement with Career Finder.
Is there a link up for it yet?
There is a link. It's in your promo, actually. But I can send you it real quick.
Oh, I was about to say, post it in chat. You've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got mod privileges.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I forgot I have mod privileges. Let's go.
You always do.
But yeah. I always
There we
do.
go.
But yeah, this is, we wrote it all in one day. Like, the entire thing. And then we edited it all the next day. It was really fun. And hella gay. I'll fully admit that. It's pretty gay.
A little bit late
Man,
for Pride, but that's fine.
I would expect nothing less from Pathfinder.
Are there crimes involved?
Okay. I was debating adding a be gay do crime archetype, but I just ran out of time.
Oh well.
But if we ever get hired to do a part 2, which I hope we can, you know, maybe I'll write it.
The future looks bright.
Yeah,
The
well, my
future
main thing
glitters.
with like doing the be gay do crime like joke is how that would be perceived by wider audiences because of the political turmoil, which we don't need to get into, but just
I will tell
that was a
you,
thing I had to
when-
keep into account.
when we released Queer Finder, we sent out for some feedback, and one of the things that we got back was that people want more messy gays, basically.
Oh, we gave them messy gays.
So
Don't you worry about
yeah,
that.
we got some interest in queer villains and the like. So
Yeah. Because, Disney's
Look, I can
dropped that.
write so much. I can only write so much in one day. I wrote 6 new items, a whole heritage, new spell,
amateur.
a bunch of general
mean,
feats and skill
You could
feats.
just give up more sleep
Anyway,
to write
I think-
more. Come on,
I was
get
just-
good.
I think it was 10,000 words by the time I was done.
I
Maybe
was
a little
just
bit more.
bringing that up so that you can hopefully feel a little more assured in the understanding that gay bad guys is not necessarily a bad thing.
Oh yeah. No, if I ever get like I said, if we ever get hired to do another, last minute supplement, I'd very much like to do villains.
Yeah.
More villains, the
It's
better.
either here or there. That's true.
But that's one of the
That's why
things
you
that we
could
were
check
doing in the
out
Codex.
Sinclair's Codex.
No, we are going to be packing, I think, at the moment, there's going to be like 20 different villains in there. Last time I checked. That number might be incorrect, because it's been a while since I've actually checked it. I've mostly been doing review work over the last week or so. In preparation. But, all that aside, who remembers what happened last time? I was about to say last week, that would be incorrect.
Ah, there's my book. I got you. Last time was session 14. Okay.
I was about to say, please keep going.
No. I'm reading. I split over 2 pages. I was looking at the wrong page there for a second. So Eliza performed funeral rites on Omblin, which was the dwarf rogue, right?
Yes.
Okay. What? That doesn't make sense. Okay, I get what I wrote here, but I wrote that totally wrong. Bright Torrent sunk during the starfall, not drunk during the starfall. I don't know why I wrote that.
I mean, why not?
I guess. Nethers Temple probably has magical defenses. So a lot of this is because we had a downtime, so a lot of this is what Tiberius gathered through research. While other people were kind of just chatting.
I mean, chatting is a kind of research as well.
Yeah, I got some of the stuff that they discovered during chatting. Specifically that Sniper just found that there was a Pathfinder society staying in Tamili's fishery.
Yeah.
Tamili was a Pathfinder herself. The society are rich fanboys and girls.
Oh dear God. Everyone's
Am I
so mean
wrong?
to the. Everyone is so mean to the Pathfinder Society.
I will note that my character was completely on their side that
Yes.
entire time.
You very much
okay.
were.
Back to researching. Library of for Tiberius' side, the Library of Nethers has books for every spell ever cast.
Yes.
Really excited for that. According to legend, the original clerics are still there, and one of the heralds resides there. I wonder which one. Because that will have different ramifications. Like if it's the Lich, that has a whole different thing. If instead of what is isn't another one like an angel? Or something?
One's an elemental. I know that. but as I understand it, that's more divine fury than actual heraldry type stuff.
The staff of theurgy is there, which hey, let's get an artifact to upgrade my staff. Let's go. Onto the mutated dragon that's been hinted at this whole entire, like in previous sessions. The green dragon that oversees like the guy with the like gnarled scaled hand.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. So the mutated dragon is not natural. Some dragons make deals or rituals to make themselves more powerful. This is like Raveners and Dracoliches.
Yes.
This green dragon in particular is one who made a pact with Lamashtu. Has regeneration that can be that most likely is bypassed by fire or good aligned magic.
Mm-hmm.
And other mutated abilities that not entirely sure what they are, plus the normal dragon ability. So we'll find out that. We
An
also
entire
found,
toolbox of fun. It's gonna be great.
yeah. We also found out that if we wanted more information on getting to Bright Torrent, we should visit the Skar, which is some like valley like thing in our ravine north of Otari. There's a temple of Lamashtu there. One of the oldest temples, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. One of the oldest known
more-
temples.
Yeah. More and more dangerous, separating itself from the wild. I write my stuff in very point form, so it's been a hot minute.
Fine.
If you get close, you start getting nightmares.
Yep.
There's a cult there. A troop of people. I don't know if they're society members or if they're like army dudes. I did not write that down. Went to the temple to find troglodytes. They found the cult there that wanted to upgrade things. Heavy quotation marks on that. Upgrade. Specifically like wolves to Bargas or people to ogres.
Yeah.
And the juicy things that we have on the table right now are 2 floating hero points and 2 villain points.
Oh, I got
wrote
2
that-
villain
I wrote
points, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
Yeah, you said someone write it down, and I did.
Excellent. Love it. So 2 floating hero points, 2 villain points for me. Hopefully I actually get to use them this week.
Yeah.
But no.
And then whatever Ridge ended up doing while we were doing all this. Oh, there was one note that I forgot to write down. There was a disagreement between Tiberius and Eliza and Sniper
There was.
about how the Pathfinder Society should be involved. Tiberius was there for like, hey, we're all friends here, sharing is caring, and Eliza and Sniper were along the lines of, hey, they could help us, but only if we need it. So like a fallback plan, and so that we can get more of the treasure for ourselves.
And it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to make that not sound biased at all. Hopefully I succeeded.
Look, as I said last time, you had fair points, and all these things can't always run smoothly.
I was talking about the in the summary of what happened last time. I tried to make that our disagreement not be biased because hey, I'm on one side.
Hey, I thought it was good, and it covered all the points. But yes,
Hey.
the next objective for our heroes is to head to an ancient Lamashtu temple known as the Skar. That is not so much hidden, but placed pretty firmly at the bottom of the valley or ravine just to the north of Otari. Apparently it will take them a couple of hours to get there, but for the most part, preparations I'm pretty sure we dealt with last week.
Yeah.
But if the players want to do anything else to prepare, now is the time. Otherwise, you have a journey to go on.
Tiberius would like to take a fucking nap.
Well, yes, if you want to sleep overnight, that's fine. I'm pretty sure everyone's rested.
I don't think it's just that. I think he's just exhausted.
Well,
Because he full on researched not one topic, 3 whole topics,
yeah.
and then copied a spell into his spell book.
So yeah, pretty mentally exhausted.
Yeah, so there's a good chance that he's just napping on the on the first leg of the journey to the Skar. Which I am down to take the repercussions of that should any pop up.
I think people are pretty keen to leave in the morning. But, Sniper,
Aye.
what are you up to?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to step away for a minute, but I just got back, and all I heard was sniper. I was just like, oh shit. Are we on the trail now?
No,
Or-
doing last minute preparations.
Oh, last minute preparations. Well, you know, making sure that my daily bit of crafting is done, and yeah, just making sure we're up and ready to go.
No, with last minute purchases or anything like that?
No, I think I got it all. I'm gonna double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure I got everything that I need. Feels weird doing this accent, I won't lie.
Oh.
I've been doing accents all morning. I ran a Honey Heist game, like, 9 a.m., so my brain is currently jumping between every accent.
Oh god.
It's real bad. I'm pretty sure I bought new.
I know you've got
bought
some new
the-
weapons.
Yes. I can't remember if we purchased the striking rune or not.
I believe you did.
Okay. Well,
We'll need to
I got it.
deduct the gold because I don't think we did that yet, but yeah.
Alright, well, I got 1 gold piece, so either I
Well,
paid
I'm
for it
talking
or I
about the
didn't.
communism.
Oh, okay.
Because you had, what is it, 65 gold chilling in your inventory?
Yes, I did. And now, oh, damn, I never fixed the, ammo problem with the repeater. Well, I'll fiddle with that in the background.
If I may make a suggestion.
Yes.
I noticed that
I was getting there.
Dawnflower Library has a staff of healing for sale that could be very handy for our cleric to take with her, so that she can use healing if we end up needing it outside of her lay on hands.
A little bit extra. It's not a bad idea.
How much is it?
90 gold.
Because
How
the
much
other
do I
option
have?
would be for
what-
me. Well, the communism currently has 121 sitting in it. Not
Yeah,
I don't think it's a bad
whatever.
idea.
Deduct the amount for the striking rune still.
Yeah, it doesn't. The striking rune hasn't been taken out, and any miscellaneous nonsense that we're going to sell is not part of that. That's just raw cash. The other option would be we buy some scrolls or extra potions if we feel like we need them, which we might, since we're going to Lamashtu Temple.
Yeah, and as the person who put together the combat encounters for it,
Yeah, and at level 4, that would give Eliza 4 first level heal spells every day. I think, if I remember how staves work.
I believe so. She gets charges every day equal to the highest level spell that she can cast.
I
It would
suppose
be 2 first level heal spells, but it's rechargeable and it's 2 extra heal spells that we didn't have.
that's fair. We should probably sell just some of the, like the gold ring, the silver signet ring, and the owlbear bits, because that's the 75 GP before whatever deductions are for actually selling it.
I mean, if you want to sell those, you can.
As far as I know, we're not using them for anything.
Also, I don't think they have any significance, or at least I didn't attach any extra significance to them.
The gold ring has an inscription that says "golden like your smile." I don't know if that has any significance. I know the silver signet ring doesn't have any description.
Yeah, the ring, I'm pretty comfortable selling both rings. I mean, we can write down the inscription on the gold one if we feel like we might need that later. And then the owlbear bits, yeah, basically we took those for the sake of selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So 75 before whatever the deduction is needed.
Oh no, the treasure, so it's 75. But
Oh, I'm so used to like first edition where it's like, yeah, selling is halved.
so treasure sells for the full amount that it's worth. Things that are not treasure sell for half. But that's a rule of thumb. Other GMs do it differently.
Okay. So
I am adding 75 to the communism, and I will be taking care of those 3 bits of treasure.
Okay, should that be enough for the staff and the
room, yeah. Should be. I don't know, like, how much is a striking room?
That's a good question.
Striking is 65, so yeah.
Okay.
Just selling the treasure alone is covers that, and then cool.
Yeah, we're still at a
Still
decent
sitting pretty.
amount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We should be at like 40 gold afterwards, I think.
And as I said last time, you're level 4 now. I'm not gonna, and this isn't a survival campaign, so I'm not gonna worry about getting the rations for yourselves or for the animals. Just as long as you tell me you have prepared for it, I'm happy with that. I'm not gonna have you micromanaging every little bit of food scraps.
And given Tiberius's personality, seeing as he literally spent all the previous day making sure we're prepared going into this Skar, I imagine that, hey, let's feed the animals is probably up there on the to-do list. Or at least telling someone to feed the animals.
Well, that is the other question. Is everyone going mounted?
No,
Mounted slash
I gotta
cart?
take a cart.
I will go mounted.
Yeah, I'll go mounted. Liberavis is, likes to walk.
It's a good journey. It really is. And still no word from Juliet?
Oh.
This
Is
is
just
insane.
mirror has the communism gold not been updated?
Communism gold is at 196 for me. 196.01.
Yeah.
Total coinage, yep. If you want to deduct the amounts from that, you can.
I will
Okay.
do. So,
You should be able to.
65.
You should,
55.
you should be able to
Move
drag
bonus.
this stuff
Yep.
into there, and it should do the deduction. I'm not 100%
Oh,
sure
whoops.
though.
Oh, yep, the amount just went down to 41.
Yes, there we go.
That was me that just straight up said, hey, let's take the gold out.
The
Yeah, no,
staff...
that works
Oh,
too.
okay. I was going to say, the staff did not appear.
Yeah.
Give me a second, I will get that done.
It's because it's actually the coins. It's all my fault.
We're professional gamers, guys. We're really
Yeah.
good at this.
Boundary is a great program.
When it decides to be nice. Anyways, I fixed my gun problem while you guys were doing all that.
Well, that's
Nice.
good.
Now shoot. I was looking in the wrong... Well, I had to do a few things, but essentially I got my Frontier repeater to finally have ammunition. so I can keep track of it all now.
I can unprepare a spell. Because it is, yeah, because I no longer need to have a magic weapon.
Yes, because there's no scaling version of magic weapon.
Is that
Oh,
a
yeah.
Juliet?
Apologies.
Hello!
You're
I
here.
would say that it was festivities keeping me. I would be lying. It was the fact that 3 alarms was not enough to wake me from my slumber.
Oh my goodness.
Mood.
Well,
Whoa.
you're here just in time. We bought you a staff of healing.
Oh, what? That sounds lit.
So you get, I think you get 2 spells slots per day in the staff that you can use to cast a first level heal.
That's lit. Maybe I can heal someone other than myself now.
Here
Well,
we go.
that
Can
Depends.
I
During your daily,
translate my smokingness?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
the staff, every day, the staff gains a number of charges equal to the level of your highest level spell. And you can expend a spell slot to add that spell's level to the number of charges.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get 2 charges every day. Each charge can cast a heal.
Yeah.
And then if you want, you can throw another spell slot into there to get up to 4 charges.
Or-
Alright.
Or if you got extra first level spells that you're not using, you can also throw those in there.
I tend to use my first levels.
Yeah, I figured since you tend to cast your spells, like actually use them,
Yeah.
useful to have like extra heal on the side when you can't lay on hands.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm just curious if we have a way to make up 19 more gold. I just want this staff of fire. Upgrade my
okay.
upgrade my staff of knowledge, so I can actually have
Well,
Some
uh,
aggression.
Yeah, well, not just that, like, use half of my feature, because as it currently stands, it's like, hey, I can't afford to spend my spell slots to get spell slots on the staff.
Well, just looking at it, the climbing bolts will give you about 8 gold pieces.
I have a hat of disguise if you
Steel
want to.
shield will give 5.
I have a wait, hold on. I have a hat of disguise that'll sell for 30.
They could
Oh,
probably earn income.
not when we're leaving literally today.
A
Well, I mean-
job?
It might get you some extra money. And we still have to find out what Ridge was doing over the last 24 hours or so.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
it's
I was going to
unlikely
talk
that-
to Micah, but unfortunately with how I've been feeling recently.
That's okay. It turns out it's probably not likely to make a difference because a level 4 earn income check, the most I could possibly make is 8 silver pieces.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just slowly going through, and do you want to sell the head of disguise, or you want to keep it?
I liked it, but if it gets you your magical staff, then I don't mind saying goodbye to mine.
We actually going to use that snare kit that's sitting there?
I was
I
looking
feel
at
like we can probably get rid of that.
Almost
say, I feel like-
absolutely not.
Yeah,
Two.
so sell that and the climbing bolts, that's 20.
And that'll cover it.
and then the climbing bolt is
Wait, hold-
worth 8. Is what Matt
Oh, that's
said.
right, because they're not treasure, they sell for half.
That is correct.
Yeah, so I need 1 gold.
I'll front my 1 gold piece. You owe me, and I give him my gold.
Okay, there we go.
One of these days, I
Sharing
should-
is not caring, apparently.
Wow.
Because it was like, yeah, you owe me this 1 gold. And it's like, okay, fine.
I was doing a thing called teasing.
Oh, that's fair.
Bridge told me about it.
One of these days, I should probably actually like get myself some equipment because I never did. Like, I mean, like I have equipment. It's just the stuff that I've had and nothing really.
Yeah. Yeah. If you could move
It's- yeah.
the staff of fire over to my inventory, that would be lovely, Matt.
Stuff
That's,
of fire.
I'm also just not sure what to do with myself in that front. So
My bard in the Sunday game has a similar issue. He just kind of got his Maestro's instrument for the appropriate level, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm good.
yeah, like I kind of want to get a plus magic bow on my bow, but at the same time, I'm like, consumables maybe.
That's the other one.
Yeah. Like, part of my preparation is if the Dawnflower Library can make scrolls that aren't on that list, I want to get a few Soothe scrolls to have extra.
They can do that, and Soothe's easy done.
Okay.
I don't know. Can you use spell wands that aren't on your spell list?
Not typically.
I think
from
you
the
need
mind.
I think you need trick magic item.
Yes.
For that.
Okay. Because I do have a wand of heal
Oh.
that I could give to
Because
someone.
that's an additional 1 per day.
Yeah.
All
for
the
a
heals.
first level.
And you can always overcast with a wand, it's fine. It's only a flat check.
I
Yeah.
would never.
I need to look at
I don't
what
trust flat checks.
Stuff Nexus.
I'll be honest, I had completely resigned myself to dying the other day. Not in this game, a completely different game.
Yeah.
But I was dying too, and my luck had been bad all night. I assumed I was gonna crit fail.
But just managed to edge it out.
Luckily.
Yeah.
I rolled a nat 20, so...
Oh, look. In Sunday night, they have a relic that allows them to do dominate on any outsider, which includes fiends and demons. And I crit failed, like rolled a 1 on the will save for, I think it was 3 different demons.
Nice.
And it's just like, wow, okay. Thanks, Foundry.
I think the wildest thing that happened in the game I was in was our witch critting 7 out of 8 scorching rays in that fight.
Wow.
Yeah. It was wild. The poor treant did not stand chance.
No. Not with Scorching Ray.
It was very funny because our DM routinely just like adds like over 100 hit points to things.
Yeah.
Because we just rip through it.
Sometimes
like,
you gotta
this
do
is
it.
supposed to be a punishing encounter, and
Yeah.
they will not be punished.
Look, it happens in a game that has encounter design as balanced as Pathfinder 2 is. It's very easy for the dice rolls to kind of make or break an encounter, especially when you're at like severe and extreme levels. I mean, even in this campaign, we saw the sniper one-shot a couple of creatures that were supposed to be able to stand for a couple of rounds.
Standing for a couple of rounds?
That's
At
not
the
allowed.
least.
Yeah. So, is it all good if I transfer the Staff of Knowledge into the Staff of Fire?
Yes, that is fine.
Cool.
You're a staff nexus, you have time, you can do it.
Yeah, there's no actual rules for it, for
Nah.
switching staffs. I can just craft my makeshift staff into any other type of staff for the new staff's usual cost.
Yeah. Because they want people to use staves, damn it.
Well, they want people to craft staves, not switch out to one that you've randomly looted.
Well, apparently the new treasure supplement that's coming out in a couple of months will be doing over the crafting rules, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'll
But-
be honest, I have not looked at the 2E crafting rules, and my brain still runs on the 1E crafting rules.
I think most people are just kind of like, it takes 4 days to craft what now? Oh, so I want a healing potion that's gonna take me 4 days? Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened to 100 gold pieces per day? The
Wasn't
good
it
old
1,000?
days.
1,000
I think
gold
it was
pieces per day?
100. It may have been 1,000 though, for like, I don't know. It was
This is where I think fifth
wild.
has a leg up because their crafting rules are really good. Like in Xanathar's, it's really good.
I
must
was
admit, I haven't checked everything.
honestly going to say, do they have them? But apparently they do. Today I learned. I was today years old when I found out that 5th edition has crafting rules.
Yeah,
I'll find it.
yeah, it's all
Um,
good. But, does anyone want to do any other last minute preparations?
I think I'm good. Let's go to this Temple of Llamas, though.
Once again, pronunciation guides would be fantastic.
Is it not Llamas, though?
I don't know, that's my point.
Lamashtu.
I've always thought it was Lamashtu.
That might be fair. I have a bad habit of just reading words and skipping like half the letters in them.
Yeah, because
How's that dyslexia going for you?
I've never been tested, so
yeah.
Maybe it's not
LAMAST.
dyslexia. Maybe it's just really hard to say.
that too. But like of characters in books.
Yeah.
According to howtopronounce.com, it's Lamashtu.
Ah.
I've never heard it that way.
It's because it's an actual real world deity.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's based on the Sumerian deity of the same name. I think it's Sumerian.
Yeah, Sumerian.
Sounds
Dim.
Somewhere from Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
They had the best gods. Just want to put that out there.
Absolutely.
Like, they had Tiamat as well.
Gods.
Oh, shush.
Daughter of the sky god An. It says Anu, but in Sumerian it's An.
And look at that, we're learning a little bit of history as well.
Who said you couldn't have some learning with your nerds?
Does that mean I can make this an educational stream? Can I tag it with that or no? Okay.
Yeah. Can we talk about enough like real world fun facts that it's educational enough?
Well, look, Hijinks gets to have the animal facts. We can just have random trivia and history.
Yeah.
The fact that we're all giant nerds.
I mean.
One time, speaking of fun facts, I do calendars every year, like art calendars, and I polled my backers one year, and I was like, what stuff would you like to see on a future calendar? And somebody goes, environmental living and intersectional feminism fun facts, and I'm like, I'm all for these things, but
That seems a bit heavy for a calendar.
yeah, and what could be considered a fun fact?
I feel like that's entirely depressing.
Like, fun fact, women on average make less than men for the same job? Is that a fun fact, really?
I party with that fact, actually. Me and that fact go out drinking like every other every
Exactly.
other weekend.
Is it? Wait, does it only cost 77 cents to the same dollar, or
It does, yeah.
The lightweight.
exactly?
Uh,
Man, I wish I wish I could afford going to bars.
I
Wait, you guys are
literally
legally allowed
am
to go to
not
bars?
allowed to go. I'm like 19.
James.
I don't go.
Panda, we can go to a
I
bar.
don't want to. Here's the thing. Right? Canada's
Fair.
too cold.
Dude, it's 25 right now and it's nighttime, so 25 to Fahrenheit. It's
That sounds really cold.
About to say, right?
oh, not
It's
this again.
25 degrees.
77.
Oh, that's not
77?
bad.
We
It's
go up
82
to,
degrees where I'm at.
I think we go up to that.
I mean, the main issue with me visiting you
Oh,
in
yeah.
Canada would be the fact that I live way out west.
It was it was 82 here like 2 hours ago.
Just drive, it'll be
Today's
fine.
high was 90. Yeah. What money though? I haven't gotten all my Sinclair's paychecks, and clearly this is Matt's job. So, at the end of the day, this is on Matt, and not
Matt,
me.
what are you doing? I need to have drinks with James here.
It keeps blaming me, but it's absolutely not my job.
At this point, it's a running joke that I need to keep.
Yeah,
I
No, I get
absolutely
that.
know it's not.
but unless anyone
Oh
wants
yeah,
to
we
do
have a
it,
game.
we do have a game. I do love the home game vibes though. But no other preparations.
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Spent like 10 hours in game time at the library the day prior doing
Yeah.
all the preps.
All the rest, all the sleep, everyone's good and ready to go. Now, the journey to the Skar will take you up the river north. Apparently, you will get to a point where the river will deviate, and from that point, if you drift off on the path a little bit east, you should find a natural trail that will lead you straight to the Skar. Now, as was previously researched, apparently the closer you get to the Skar, the more likely you are to have nightmares. So people don't really like to stay overnight in the area.
What's
As a
the
robot, I can't dream.
worst that could happen?
To be fair,
Delightful.
I think Soothe will help with that because Soothe helps you have nice dreams.
Well, yeah, and there's other
I-
magical effects that you can use. Oasis immediately comes to mind. But
Matt,
not
I have a
everyone has
question.
access to it. Yes.
Hi, if I get close, am I dreaming of electronic nightmare sheep, or is it just still electric sheep?
Electric nightmares.
Okay, cool. But are
Instead
they
of
sheep?
doing... no, they're nightmares. Instead of doing fire damage, they do electric damage instead.
Fuck. I guess I do not dream. Androids do not dream of electronic sheep.
Well, if it was an area in which dreams were common, then yeah, it might be electric sheep. Oh, and I just got the joke from Pokemon
I
now.
feel like Pokemon. What? No, Blade Runner.
No. So,
There is an electric sheep Pokemon.
Is
thank
there?
you. Yes.
Stream
I don't
It's
fucking
one
play
of the
Pokemon.
best
Pokemon is for
Pokemon.
nerds.
Wait,
Pokemon is for nerds.
Fucking Asimov from like a long time ago. I forget when that was released.
Oh, I'm sorry that your generation isn't up to date.
There's also just normal ass sheep Pokemon, and I don't know how to feel about them.
Wooloo.
I do like
Pokemon's a
Wooloo.
game where you capture animals and force them to fight against each other against their own wills, and for the sake of winning a tournament that will keep you alive
that's
forever.
actually
I'll
incorrect.
have you know, my Pokemon love being forced to
Man.
battle. It says so when I visit the happiness checker.
Yeah, dude, Android's Dream of Electric Sheep was released in 1968. That was like 5 years after my dad was born.
Wow. Also, it is established within Pokemon lore, and yes, this is actually a thing, that Pokemon are mostly sentient, and have a very strong honor code, they do actually enjoy fighting, and they consider it a great honor. This was established.
Except Charizard.
Then you go
Charizard
around the
fucking
world,
doesn't give a
forcing them
shit.
into your Pokeballs, and you then, just like any random encounter, you just chuck them, and you
I
just willy-nilly,
like-
and then if they knock out, guess
I
what?
like
You got
when
3
I
more
capture
Poke bitches
God.
ready to go.
That is a retcon to make things seem less problematic.
I would say that I personally like catching God and naming him Poopy Face.
Yeah,
Also, wait, hold on. That Ash is an 11-year-old child. I don't trust my 11-year-old brother with half the shit in my house. Why the fuck am I gonna let him go run around in a world unsupervised with just random wild animals ready to kill him at any point?
If it makes you
'Cause you're
feel
not
better,
anime.
the main character Red does not have a specified age.
Ash has an age.
Yeah, well,
Wait,
Ash
Ash
he's
is the
not the
anime
character.
character.
Yeah,
He is
he's-
not the character you play in the games.
I wanna
In
play this
Red
shit.
and Blue,
Pokemon's for nerds.
you play Red, and your rival is Blue. In Gold and Silver, you play Gold, and your rival is Silver.
which
In
has gotta
Ruby
suck.
and Emerald, you play either May or Brendan, and your rival is either May or Brendan. Brendan. I hate Brendan. Fun fact.
Really?
Because I'll be walking to Mauville. I always get complacent. I
Yeah,
never remember when it is. And then I'm walking to Mauville, and Brendan comes walking south to murder me.
it's like, what's that? You haven't been to a Pokemon Center in a while? All your Pokemon are injured because you've been, like, training and catching Pokemon? Sounds like a great time for a battle, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's called getting good.
Oh, wow.
Take better care of your Pokemon. If you didn't force them to fight all the fucking time, you wouldn't have that issue.
that's how they get stronger.
Oh, hey, guess
Technology,
what? There are more
technical
humane
fervor.
ways of treating animals.
Yeah,
Anyway.
retreat and hard work.
So, the Skar.
The
Yes!
Skar.
Perception checks from people. Perception or survival, depending on how you want to approach the area.
I would love to approach it using perception.
I will
Um,
also be perceptive.
How far away is the Skar from Otari?
It's about a half day's travel.
Okay,
Oh,
I'd
That's
probably be
a
awake.
good roll.
That is a good roll.
Yeah, I was not lying when Tiberius was taking a power nap on the way there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Uh-huh.
mood.
Yeah, actually, let's look at the skills to see if anyone pops out aside from perception, because perception's not great.
Aww.
Ooh.
Can I religion to see if they're lying?
Yeah, I was looking at religion.
Religion's not a bad idea.
Would occultism be there because
Occultism?
we're literally going into a cult?
Well, it's a gray area between religion and occult.
That's why I'm asking.
Yes,
In the gray area.
you can do occult if you like. If you're trying to
Cool.
get a little bit of extra information.
That sounds lovely. That doesn't matter because I rolled 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
All this preamble to it too.
I mean, isn't that the
love
way it always
this
works?
Game.
I love it.
I personally love whenever I say I'm good at that and then proceed to immediately roll shit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Because you just
The
can't help
best.
a one. You're just like, I can't be good all the time. But, Ridge, Eliza, it is as you're kind of going up the river, for the most part, like a lot of the Isle of Kortos, the terrain is lush and green, especially in recent years with restoration of the Aeon Stones. And there's plenty of life around, but it's as you get closer that the area, the land around you quickly gives way to a wasteland. And this is even beyond the fact that the mountains are approaching in front of you. It's just the area does not want to live, and what does are your random little bushes, twisted trees that should be dead but refuse to give up, and other strange and unusual creatures that you would assume would be something a little bit more normal for the area, but there's definitely variations. You'll see a lot of two tails and other vestigial limbs, particularly as you get a lot closer to the area.
I'm not a fan of this.
I'm really loving how you just described, like, right outside my window as this area. You know, we've got the very hurt trees.
Matt
got
is
the
writing down notes
bushes.
while at a laptop just outside your window.
Yeah.
I should
You
also
know.
point out this could just be the Australian outback, and there'd be no way to tell the difference.
I mean, yeah.
Well, there's a
Deserts do love to be similar that way.
Is the scenery right side up or upside down?
Oh god.
Yeah, are we in Utah or are we in Australia?
Well, I'm trying to remember. I think Inner Sea is supposed to be vaguely European.
Yeah, I think the inner sea is supposed to be like the specific inner sea portion is supposed to be the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
So presumably we'd be in like Greece or Sicily.
A bit north,
It's-
but yes.
With where Otari is, it'd be probably easier to say we're near Cyprus.
Yeah.
Valid.
Because Cyprus is a central island in the Mediterranean.
The
To
Grecian
be fair,
area
so
of Galarian is
Sicily,
southeast
But
of Otari.
oh, fun.
There is actually a Grecian area that has like the Minotaurs and a similar but different pantheon, and Paizo has vaguely touched it.
It should also
Oh,
be noted
fun.
that the Isle of Portos itself is slightly Grecian.
Yeah.
Because of the demigods.
Um,
Absalom is like the decidedly not Grecian, but or Grecian or whatever. But aside from that,
That's just because Absalom is just big fantasy city.
and,
Yeah.
Then Cheliax to Taldor is essentially Rome.
Is it really pronounced Cheliax?
Yes,
Wow, that makes me
I
happy.
so I really liked the fact when it was when the adjective could be Chelish, but they're like, no, we're taking out Chelish and now it's Chelaxian.
it's
like-
like,
You can't chillax.
Chelaxian.
apparently,
Chelaxian. It's like, please, I just want to say Chelish and call it a day.
because Chelish Devil, it works out so well.
Cheliax?
I don't love the way that CH is pronounced, but okay.
I always thought it was Cheliax with the CH, like hard CH, and, Sean's coming in saying shell, and it's like, what?
I'll be honest, I always thought it was like Kellyak. Like, you just sort of forgot about the H.
Wait, yeah, no, I can see that. But once again,
'cause-
the hill I will die
Yeah.
on is pronunciation guides.
Yeah, no, I'm about to run a campaign in Cheliax, and it's like, hey,
Yeah,
I will be using Chelish almost exclusively, Sean, so I'm with you there.
but in particular, Eliza, because you succeeded on the DC for this.
Yes, success.
As you're going up the road, there's a general vibe that starts to fill the area. As our
Alright.
visions all start to distort, you're able to recognize it as that this is some sort of protective measure that has been placed on the area. The area, the land itself, has been cursed. And this isn't a natural effect. Someone has actually gone to the effort of laying down some sort of ward to keep people away.
Cool. Do I do I tell that because there's just like a rock with a big rune on it?
Not so much that. It's your divine power in nature. It's kind of like you get this feeling of unease
In
that starts.
bones.
Yeah, and it's a little bit too big of an area to just simply be, you know, a specific set of runes that are being placed down. It's more,
Okay.
you kind of start moving into it and you're like, okay, so this isn't just the area is uncomfortable. This is someone has deliberately made it uncomfortable.
Okay. But like from my knowledge of history, that's just sort of how it's always been.
This seems a little bit more aggressive.
Okay.
Like, you know from the history and from what you've been told that people in the area, when they sleep there, they have nightmares. That just kind of comes with the territory. But this is more... You get the feeling that as you approach, you're going to start having waking nightmares.
Oh, that sounds great. I'll warn the party.
Would I be able to set up like a counter to this ward?
Well, you do have a couple of options. You can attempt to disable it, or you can try to dispel it altogether.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Talking about dispelling altogether.
Alright, do your counteract check if you're using Dispel Magic. I have the
Okay,
DC for it in front of me.
Hey, Ridge, could you give me a bit of hand with this?
Sure.
Guidance.
La 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 la. You're so good at this.
Thank you very much. Your assistance is always...
Nethys bless you.
Yes, there we go.
What is that, a +2, +3?
It's 27.
Yeah, that'll do it. The DC is 25. So, what does this look like? Because
Ooh,
Eliza has explained to you generally how it works. As you approach, nightmares will start to assault your vision. And this isn't just a particular set of runes that have been placed in the area. This is a divine curse that has been placed upon the land. So, Tiberius, how does your dispelling look?
okay, so the average person sees nothing at all. But if you're casting, like, Detect Magic or Read Aura, you see the magical aura literally being burned away by black and white flame.
Ooh, I like that. So for those with the particular vision, they see a scorching wave of black and white energy just kind of coursicate over the terrain as it gets pushed and washed away by your Dispel Magic.
Eliza is trying to figure out why the air suddenly got like 2 degrees warmer. She's like moving her hand back and forth, just occasionally just looking at Ridge because she suspects
Yeah.
that it might have something to do with him. I mean, notoriously, he is the hot one.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. In my mind, it would probably get like colder because Nethys is all about weirdness. So like it's part of dichotomy. So it's like, oh, flames must be cold.
Oh god.
Well, in that case, I'm just so hot I'm taking all the heat out of the...
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about absorption. You know, nothing can be hot around you because you are hot.
That's right.
But yeah.
Now, as you start to move through the terrain, the ravine comes into view, and as was previously told to you, it is a pretty natural pathway that takes you there. So the question I have, as the GM, is how are you approaching?
presumably on my horse until I get to an appropriate time as to dismount.
Well, that's the main question. Are you approaching stealthily on horseback? Or are you gonna go on foot?
Said we go stealthily, but that's at least my personal opinion.
Sure. So good at stealth. We can roll it.
Stealth
Okay.
sounds to me.
Eliza is so the bad stealth
It's just
cleric.
I think the three people like I don't know how Ridge is looking, but I know I'm not trained in it. I don't think Eliza's trained in it.
I'm trained.
Oh,
And I think Sniper's an
I
expert.
am in fact untrained.
Oh, I am an expert.
with
I'm
no
untrained.
dexterity.
Oh, I got some decks, so I'm ahead of that. So, we can follow the expert.
Well, that is a question.
What are the rules for following the expert?
Real question.
have never done it before.
From memory, instead of taking the untrained, rolling it untrained, you roll it as if you roll it at +0 with a bonus based on the expert who's you're following. So, for instance, with Sniper, I believe it'd be a +1.
Thanks
This is a
to
31 to my check.
I mean,
you can add your level as a proficiency bonus to the associated skill check, even if you're untrained. Additionally, you gain a circumstance bonus for your allies' proficiency, +2 for expert, 3 for master, and 4 for legendary. So Eliza and I get the biggest bonus out of this, because we get to treat it as if we were trained.
yes.
And then Ridge just gets a +2.
So I believe that would be, I want to say +6 plus your dex, whatever dex modifier, whatever that is, for Eliza and
Yeah.
Tiberius.
I'll just put +6 here.
I just get a +2.
Yes,
Oh.
because Sniper is pretty much is blazing the path and has done a bloody good job of it.
Yeah.
I rolled a 12. Also, that should be an 18, because I don't know how to math.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, Sniper, you got the critical success there. Before I drag us onto the proper map, it's as you're kind of approaching and scanning ahead a little bit, the cliff face kind of looks flat and natural. You can see a little bit up ahead where bits of the temple kind of poke out from the natural terrain. But it's as you're kind of making your way sneakily forward that you see a couple of kobolds milling about around near one of the cliff face before they kind of press a couple of rocks and a door gives way before they quickly duck in and disappear within.
I clock which rocks they are.
Yes.
Okay.
Activating! This might take a second to load everyone in.
I am in a narrow.
A
strip
very
of
narrow strip of map.
Oh, I heard a door open. That's exciting.
I want to change it from being secret, but Sniper,
Oh,
you're pretty sure you can recreate the series of rocks.
should be topped off, shouldn't I?
Alright.
Yep.
Well, can I take out my frontier repeater?
Oh.
God, I'm fucking tired.
You're tigered?
Tigered. Oh yeah, I'm just so fucking tigered, dude.
Uh,
It's the queer finder. It got to me. It made me tigered.
Could you bring over my token? Because I just got no token vision. Huzzah! I can see.
Yeah, you should be there.
Clearly now
Everybody's here.
The rain is gone.
I don't see any tokens.
Are reloading?
Yeah.
I have dragged everyone over, and I think it's going well. Though I do
I
need
can
to
see.
change the ambient music.
Alright, well, you know what? I'm gonna hit the little rocks in the correct order, ping pang poom, and, make our way in.
Alright. You touch the couple of rocks in the pattern that you saw the kobolds put in, and it slides aside for all of you as well.
I'd like to pull out my fancy new staff, which I assume I have moved my smokingness onto. It do be smoking.
I too pull out my fancy new staff.
Everyone in their staves.
Well, it's
Staff
okay,
max is
because
OP.
my staff is a better staff, because I only need to load that thing like 5 times per ammo case.
I don't even have a staff.
Yay!
No,
You
you
want-
got
I
a
have
bendy.
this boomstick staff. Do you want
I
that?
was the
No,
first person
Mitch
to
has a
use
bendy staff with a piece of wire on it.
So, not to brag, I used staves before it was cool.
Very true. But
I'm not like other girls.
That's true. You know what Team Rocket is.
I do know what Team Rocket
And their
is.
theme song and or not theme song, their entrance and everything.
I mean,
So-
honestly, Team Rocket's so amazing.
They are iconic.
They're really breaking gender one episode at a time.
Honestly, though,
So, what is the plan? As the hole opens up in front of you, with steps wide and thick leading down.
I was gonna
God.
walk down a couple of them. Was my plan.
Ridge
Ooh,
mates.
I could pull out my 10-foot pole and poke the ground in front of me.
You gonna
Did we
do
also
it?
pick up the rolling
I,
log?
in fact, would love to poke the ground before I'm walking onto it.
The real question is, did we pick up the rolling log to, roll down hallways?
No, we didn't. You gotta
Oh,
tip, tappity.
yeah.
Well, give me a perception check, Eliza.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That is actually pretty good.
I think it's the same as my last perception check. It is.
Yes.
I'm apparently being consistent today.
We love
Well-
a consistent queen.
It's as you
Especially-
it's kind of as you're tapping forward with the 10-foot pole, and for the most part, this is one of those things where when you're in taverns or you're kind of growing up in the area and they're kind of like, you use a pole and you tap it ahead of you, to find pitfalls and traps and kind of thing, but you never really expect it to do anything. But it's as you're
Yeah.
kind of tapping forward that you notice the step in front of you actually has a bit of a give to it. Not enough to actually, you don't give it enough pressure for it to actually activate, but it does actually have some give to it.
Could I perhaps ascertain what said give would... It's a pit?
It's not a pit. It's as you kind of look
Okay.
over to the side, you see there's been a series of nozzles that have been hidden within the brickwork. You're not sure exactly what they're designed to spew out, but there's definitely going to be a reaction of some sort.
Skip this step. And then, I'm gonna just long jump. Assurance athletics, long jump.
Yep. If you have the assurance, you can just kind of leap over it without an issue.
Is it the whole step, or is it literally just like one square?
Let me help you out.
Oh, it's the whole step. Cool.
Good times.
Yeah, kobolds don't mess around when it comes to their traps.
Does Sniper have thievery?
Do have thievery.
Aw, come on, just jump it.
One of the things I love about how kobolds make their traps is that it's
help.
if
By the
you're
way, I have thievery also.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're small, you don't trigger it, but if you're bigger than that, you do.
Well,
Just jump it.
Oh,
Sniper, you do get enough to actually deactivate the trap. But how are you doing it?
Carefully.
Oh god. Are you dealing with the nozzle or are you dealing with the pressure plate?
Let's do pressure plate first.
Well, the easiest way to handle a pressure plate like that is to actually get out underneath it and put extra stuff like a wedge or something to stop it from actually activating. That's the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, you could probably go through the laborious process of actually removing the nozzles, but that could take an hour or two.
No, I'll wedge a stone in there.
You do get the feeling, though, that the kobolds here have been at this for a while. This isn't an improvised trap. This is something that they've probably designed and built over the course of a day or two.
Oh, I'm sorry that I,
You wrecked it on them?
deactivated it.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
fine.
write on the rock. So sorry, love Sniper, and
Just
then
write
I'll put the rock in.
Draconic.
Yeah, I
are
don't
you
speak that language.
writing
Oh, I mean,
Love
Tiberius
Sniper the
could,
Dragon Slayer?
translate for Sniper. Being the local dragon speaker.
Well, if you want a graffiti on it, that's fine.
No, I'm not
But-
actually gonna graffiti. I'm just gonna put in the rock in there. Call it a day.
Well, that is another one of my traps completely dodged, so that's fine. Players and their skills, I don't know. Now,
I would love to continue tapping.
well, you start tapping away, but you don't get much of a response as you continue onwards.
Okay.
You do, however, come up to a crossroads.
Ooh. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to see KT. I'm gonna nickname him
Control? No, wait, that's wrong.
Chris.
Beauty.
Chris Telephone.
Okay.
What's a
and yes,
telephone?
And yes, you can actually see through, because the doors there
Okay.
are mostly bars.
Oh, okay.
Just
I
from the
wasn't
general
sure.
From the general architecture, you get the feeling that this was probably a prison of some sort. But all the cell doors are either wedged open or just completely ajar. But
And KT, do they look like they want to murder me?
they look like they're sleeping.
Are they a kobold trap maker?
Possibly.
Is that what KT
Possibly.
stands for? I would love to roll perception to see what's going down with KT.
Go for it.
Not as good, but it is one of my nice multiples of 5.
Mostly just kind of chilling. I will say,
Okay.
however, as the rest of you kind of step away from the steps, the door to the temple closes.
Oh, haunted house vibes?
Oh no, just natural kind of thing. So yeah, kind of natural vibes, but
Yeah, so is that a kobold? I see.
It is a kobold, and they appear to be chilling.
Is their door's not locked? They're just like sleeping in a prison cell? That's a little sus.
Well, they've kind of jazzed it up a little bit. There's a couple of accoutrements. They've done some redecorating of the place.
It's a prison cell, but like a cool prison cell.
Yeah. You know, like if they
We-
gentrified the prison cells.
They
Ooh.
put up Christmas lights along the bars.
Well, I would like to, sneakily try to approach.
Wow, give me
And-
that stealth check.
I will let Sniper sneakily approach. Just kidding. I did say it. Eliza's gonna do it.
Stealth check.
She's gonna try. It's not gonna go well.
Oh, you don't know about that.
It is gonna go well-ish, apparently.
It's not terrible, and they do have a penalty because they're mostly just sleeping or chilling. The door
Oh.
into this area, although is just bars, is actually locked.
Oh, okay.
So this is their own little bit of extra security for the kobolds here. It locks from the inside.
Can I stick my hand through the bar and unlock it?
It's mostly a key type arrangement,
Okay.
like a deadlock.
Yeah.
A dog to bring us the keys.
Yeah, I take out a bone and I'm like, I tried to whistle there, but my
we can
mouth
tell.
is dry.
It came through a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good. My mouth is dry because I literally woke up moments before joining this call.
It's all good.
hydration's important though. You should
It is important. I'm definitely gonna get some water during the break. I had some water, but I drank it all, and my mouth is still a little dry.
at least you had some.
Now, besides the kobold keeping area, the hallway also goes to the north and to the east, but there's actually solid wooden doors for both of those. Big doors too. That's one of the things that you're all noticing here, is that the design of this temple definitely seems to have larger creatures in mind.
Like how large? Like large-sized large?
Yeah, like large-sized creatures.
Oh, great.
Monsters.
I would love Eliza's gonna like pull out a crowbar and sort of like look at like the juncture between the two doors and then look at the kobolds sleeping
Eza,
and then look at the bars
couldn't Sniper just
and then
Unlock
put it
the door.
away.
So,
And let someone else who's more
Yeah.
qualified do that.
100%.
so what's the plan? I think
Um,
Sniper, you're the qualified one here.
Could open it.
Alright.
I mean, I could
Jesus
try using
Fucking
craft.
Christ.
I could use crafting to try and open the door.
No, sorry, they're doing fireworks and I wasn't fucking expecting it.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
we've got some booming
My
going on here.
my bad.
Oh, we had our fireworks 3 days ago.
It's
Oh.
still like broad daylight. So.
I
oh, yeah.
know, like the sun's still out.
Oh, we had fireworks starting at like 5 o'clock.
I for one
no,
like
hold on.
drone
I have
shows.
like professional like noise canceling headphones on, and that shit still managed to break that. Holy
Wow.
crap!
Yeah,
We
I have the same
also,
thing, but also I'm
as a-
literally like 2 blocks away from the main beach in my area.
as a state, we regulate fireworks a little bit because dry.
Yeah, it's the same here in
Can
Australia.
the
We're kind of like,
regulations too,
just don't.
but a lot of people just go the illegal route.
Well, Sniper, that is one success.
It is
the other?
sad how easy it is to get them in Canada, given the laws. But hey,
You just,
Why'd
you
you-
know,
why'd you
drive
roll-
down.
Why'd you roll some dice? I don't like that.
Well, with your second success, you're able to unlock the doors.
Okay.
Thank you.
What?
I'd
I'm not allowed to roll secret dice?
No, you're not.
No, actually, you're banned from that behavior. Oh,
Yeah,
there's a little guy. Does he notice me?
Like I said, they all seem to be either sleeping or just kind of chilling.
Okay.
Are the ones who are chilling? Do they notice us? Because they're awake.
In fact,
yeah. Awake is a vague thing.
Okay, I would love to, how many of them are awake? Or,
They're
awake.
awake. KT is awake. They seem to be tinkering away with something. They're kind of just in bed, kind of laying there. And they got a couple of bits open in front of them where they're just kind of working on it casually.
Okay. And they're the only one?
There's another one to the south of where you are directly now. They're also awake, but apparently just reading a scroll.
Scroll.
Eliza is going to gesture incomprehensibly. What she's trying to communicate is that she wants to go and grab KT and tie him up, but she's not proficient in sign language.
But I think she's trying to say that she wants to dance with the kobold.
Okay.
Besides,
Perhaps.
this makes it hard.
Perhaps it might be a good idea for us to apprehend these kobolds and tie them up.
I imagine
They
the
do
moment we try to
anything.
tie up one, the shouting will bring the rest.
Well, if we synchronize our attack on the two awake ones and we cover their mouths really quick.
Eliza, we can barely synchronize enough to be a band. You
Yeah.
think we can synchronize a kidnapping?
I'll let you know that our last practice went great.
Did it though?
What was our last practice?
Exactly.
Wait, we had rehearsal?
We didn't
Yes,
invite
where
you.
were you?
Shit, I was invited.
Listen. Eliza is going to proceed towards our dear friend, KT.
Yep.
She's gonna try to get as close as possible without getting noticed.
I will
And then
need that
go
stealth check.
for a grapple, muzzle combo. This is gonna do great with my stealth
Oh.
check.
Wait. Could I, as she's about to, grapple KT, could I daze KT?
Oh, yes, you could.
Oh, the consequences of my actions.
We do have,
have a hero
we do
point.
have two floating hero points right now.
I'll just use my standard hero
Your one's-
point.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me give it back to myself.
As I just quickly set everyone in here to hostile.
God bless.
Love it. You love
Yeah.
to see it.
14?
14's better than a 4.
It is. Probably the difference between a fail and a crit fail.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
The 10 100% is.
So, KT is absolutely going to notice you as you kind of come across. It's as you're kind of crossing the threshold that you
Yeah.
have, you remember that kobolds are known for traps? and particularly the fact that this
Oh,
one
God.
is tinkering with the trap. It's
Well, I
as-
figured they wouldn't put it in their house.
Kobolds
They-
usually
they-
have traps that can't be triggered by small creatures, but can be triggered by medium.
Their
more to
whole
the
house is always a
I
trap.
knew I
Yeah.
should have played a gnome.
More to the point, this trap isn't so much a of the stabbing variety, but more of the bell variety.
The consequences of my actions. So it's like one of those little like store doorbells. As I push open the door, it just goes.
Yep, and they look over immediately. And I'm gonna set your initiative at 4.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be
Sounds
14
about
because
right.
the, stealth, because stealth was 14.
That's very true. I will update that to 14.
I mean, I'm fine with either. It's the consequences of my actions.
That's very true. I will get everyone else to roll their initiative. You can either use perception or stealth.
Could I do arcane because I was literally ready in action for a spell?
Yes, because you were ready in days.
Yeah. Which is I want to come here. Oh, arcane's already set up for that. Nice. 26.
Because the bell was triggered, they will no longer be unconscious. I love that you detected the trap in the hallway.
Well, I wasn't thinking about their house being trapped.
And Sniper got a 19 for stealth. Do you have incredible initiative, Sniper?
Do not know.
You do not?
I think I'm the
wish.
only one who does.
Alright. Well, with everyone's initiatives rolled, this seems like a good time to take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll jump straight into the combat encounter when we come back.
Yay!
Counter's all ready to go. Tiberius will be going first, but we
Let's
shall
go.
be back in like 10 minutes. We're just going to take a drink. I'm pretty sure I heard my housemate knocking on the door, so I will figure out what that's about. But hope to see you back in here in about 10-15 minutes. See you soon.
It's okay, because I went.
And we're back. 10 minutes even. I love it. Ah,
That is a record. Usually
I
we're
think
like
that's
12.
record. Usually, and where we last left our heroes, combat was beginning.
Well, 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 if it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Well, 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 if it isn't my turn.
Yes, Tiberius, it is your turn. As I switch back to the actual dialogue thing.
Figuring out how I want to do this.
You did mention days.
I did mention days, and I had it prepared. My key thing was, did I want to switch scenarios and set up kind of a lockdown in the center here with one of my spells to essentially make it harder for some of us to get to whacked. But then I realized, no matter what, I'd be hitting someone.
Pretty much.
So, and by someone I mean us.
And we couldn't have that.
You'd be hitting
It was
Eliza.
It was debatable. Yeah, 100% it would be hitting Eliza because it'd be
Yeah.
either I'm hitting two people or I'm hitting one, and one of us, and the one has a lot of utility to heal themselves. No, I think I'm.
I'm
yeah.
able to heal myself?
It's almost like you do it exclusively.
I mean, it's not exclusive, it's just more convenient.
It's almost. I think it's one heal spell that hasn't been gotten to Eliza.
Anyway.
Well, listen, I almost exclusively take all the damage.
Yeah.
And we love you for it.
So, Tiberius, what you doing?
2 days
Days?
on the guy that I had prepared it for.
Alright. Is a failure?
Do you want to use a villain point on that?
No, it stays.
I wanted to check.
I can see where you're going with that, but no.
One of your 2 villain points.
I get
Yeah.
so precious few.
Yeah, it takes 4 damage. Non-lethal.
Yeah.
And then my yeah, we know how kobolds work. I don't have to. I do not need to recall knowledge on them.
I mean, despite the picture, they are looking a little bit green than red.
They might have some mutations. They might be a bit stronger. Whoop they do.
They might breathe fire, we don't know.
I
imagine if they're green, it's probably poison
yeah.
or acid, whichever. So yeah, instead I'm just gonna shield.
Fair enough. Alright. Well, our kobold friend. They're gonna take stock of the situation. And from laying down, they're just gonna draw their crossbow and give it a shot at you, Tiberius.
It's not allowed. Shoot at someone else.
Not that it's gonna matter.
Said shoot at someone else. You have a better chance.
And he's gonna spend his final action to reload.
Should have attacked his buddy.
You sure you don't want to villain point that roll?
Why would I villain
Yo.
point a basic roll? Hey, Lost
We're
Caravan!
trying to get
It's
you
the
to-
nerds! It's those
Ah.
nerds I play with! Frickin' nerds.
Hello, we have been raided.
Unlike
Hello.
James here, we actually love you guys. Welcome.
Wait, hold on. Did I ever say I didn't love them?
You
No,
said,
I just said
those
they were.
fucking nerds, and then
Oh,
you growled.
They are
Hey,
fucking
Hooper,
nerds,
how you doing?
okay? Oh, forgive me. I call them nerds. I call everyone fucking nerds. If you,
That's true.
if you're
You
playing
do.
tabletop games, you're a fucking nerd.
It's almost lost all meaning at this point.
It really has.
Well, he's gonna do a thing out of sight that's gonna take up all of his actions. But he kind of throws something down in front of him. Eliza.
Then it's not out of sight if he throws something down in front of him. We can all see in front of him.
Fine. But that's him done. Sniper.
Ah, well, that do look like a nasty little kobold. So I don't have a clean shot on KT, do I?
No. There's Baz, there's Eliza.
Well, it seems like we're killing all the kobolds. So I'm gonna turn to this one in this room here. I'm gonna go after
south?
this guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then one shot, one kill for me, please.
You can give it a shot.
Oh, I'll give it a whole shot. Frontier Repeater.
Magic
Thank
weapon
you.
would save you now.
Magic weapon doesn't need to apply anymore. 30.
Well, that's definitely a critical. I'll double check that, but I'm
Uh-huh.
pretty sure. Yeah, no, that is a critical.
Okay.
So roll your
with
ridiculous
that,
damage.
39 points of damage. Oh, low. Ew. Did I just blow its brains out, or...
I mean, yes.
Okay, great. I turn to the other one and I fire. 26 to hit.
Oh, God. Yeah, that will also be a critical. Some days
Oh,
I
wait,
don't
hold
even
on.
know bother why I changed
Minus
these.
2. 34 points of damage.
30.
Hold
Sorry,
on. It wasn't supposed to have one shot, one kill on it.
Oh, okay. I mean, that'll still
That's
kill
why
it in
I
one shot.
Oh. Well, it lived up to its
These-
name.
These are little kobolds. They don't have huge amounts of hit points.
Sniper casually
Like a
walks
tactical
over,
assault squad.
casually lifts the gun, fires it twice, one on each side, and just like shrugs like it's just on fucking Monday. Just like, yeah, no, this is normal.
Just another manic Monday.
Ridge.
Yeah, me. Okay. We will start by casting my fancy new spell, Inspired Defense, which means everybody on my team gets +1 status to AC and saving throws, as well as resistance equal to half the spell's level to physical damage. So 2 is very nice.
That is really nice,
Yeah,
especially for when I step into a trap this coming turn.
Yeah.
I figured
Isn't
you in
the spell
particular
level
would like
2,
that.
so D1?
Oh yeah, level. Okay, well you still get resistances. So there.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I just was wondering if how actually spells work in that kind of scenario.
Pathfinder 2, it's round down.
Well, we're level 2, or it's a level 2 spell, so
Yeah.
it will be 1 anyway. So yeah, we all get that, and my second action will be shield, and my third action will be a demoralize, but I get to use my fancy new feat, so I can just give it a dirty look on KT.
Oh, wow. Alright. Give me that intimidation.
And here's where I fail. Oh,
How
A
is that a
24.
fail?
I was expecting it to roll low because I did all that build up, and then of course you would expect it to roll low, but it didn't, so I'm happy.
Well, they are now frightened.
Ridge does his little inspire, and then as he finishes, he glares at KT, and there's a like flicker of fire around his horns, and then it's scary, and KT gets scared
Yeah.
and pees a little.
Considering the situation, yeah, and everything kind of going on. I believe that's you done, though?
Yes.
I just wanted to kidnap him.
They just had to choose it the hard way, didn't they? Eliza!
Yeah,
he has
so
set a trap in front of him. So between
he
you and
clearly
him...
has thrown a trap right here. I'm wondering if I can get to right here without stepping on that. Can I diagonally move?
Considering the way that the bars are set up, it's possible, but difficult. I'll still need that reflex save, but I'm dropping the DC on it.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm gonna move.
Even Fatry doesn't want to let you.
I know. Let's saves reflex. Roll it. It's mediocre.
And you will only take half.
Dang, I was really hoping, a 19 would critically succeed.
I mean, 4 damage isn't much.
No, it's not. Especially
it's
not for
3.
Eliza.
It's
It's
3 damage because you're
It is 3
inspired,
damage.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
your saving throw. Oh no, it's on there. Just kidding.
Is the trap still there?
The trap is broken now. Because it activated. It is not so much a trap as it is a snare. Snares being consumable, they break after one use.
Because I have a, just a strange question. How does that count as unattended?
Oh god. Liza, continue your actions.
Yeah, so that's my first action.
my second action is going to be to bonk. Which, you know,
Is this going to be a
just
critical as well?
gonna-
Staff of healing.
We're gonna absolutely try. I assume you actually don't still have my you probably don't have the smoking effects on the Staff of Healing.
No,
So-
I haven't had the opportunity to
Yeah.
put that on there yet.
So I'm just gonna use, you know, good
Yeah.
old smoking stick. Roll.
Ooh, actually,
That's
check
probably gonna miss.
that. That's actually a hit,
Wow, this is an easy encounter.
thanks to the
Uh,
frightened condition.
Iconic. So that's 7 damage.
7 damage for our boy.
And then I'd like to trip him. Is his his fortitude you know, higher than an 18?
It is not.
Awesome, he's tripped. Or actually his reflex. So this was probably a
Ooh.
bad. Can I try to grapple him instead?
Yes,
Yeah. I'll grapple him then.
that is grab then.
I just had temporarily forgotten what save tripping went up against.
Well, Katie is now frightened, flat-footed, and grabbed. But I believe that's you done, Eliza.
Yep, that's 3.
He's dead. Well, you know what? Our kobold to the south there is going to take the shot at you, Eliza. You get a bonus to your armor class, but
Iconic. That's gonna miss, surprisingly.
yeah, no, that absolutely is. Reloads is done. He doesn't have a clear shot at you, Eliza.
Could take a step if he really wanted to.
I mean, he's probably going to. It just means he won't be able to start next turn loaded. But first things first, he stands up. Kind of takes stock of the situation. And yeah, is gonna give you a shot, Eliza.
Question: was he really sleeping holding his crossbow?
They've been spending an action drone.
They have been.
Standing up, stepping.
They haven't
Standing
been
up.
standing. Have they?
That one stood up and then stepped, and
That
then
is
to
very
retrieve,
true.
that would be 3.
Well, he's not going to step. He's going to stay there and he'll take his shot. That will miss anyway.
Okay.
Because I don't think a 15 is going to hit you.
No, it actually will not. Amazingly.
Tiberius.
Okay, it is now back to me. I'll
And I'll
lose my
just...
shield. I cannot see anyone. But back to the whole entire thing. Does a place trap count as an unattended object? Asking
Yes.
for future combat. Okay.
In
Okay.
terms of
Cool.
telekinetic projectile and other things like that, yes.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure. Anyways. I'm outside of range for telekinetic projectile, but I can probably cast other spells.
You absolutely can.
Let's.
You do have options.
Yeah. What is
Produce flame is new.
Yeah, produce flame is new. I'm trying to figure out what the range on produce flame is.
30 feet, I believe.
And I am outside range because I'm 35 feet away.
Ha!
So, out with the new, in with the old, I say, and well, semi-old, and I'm casting Ray Frost.
Alright, roll a hit.
Okay.
Eliza is no longer in the way.
$15?
15 will not hit, unfortunately.
I didn't think so.
Did you want to spend your hero point?
No,
No?
it's a cantrip.
Not on cantrip?
It's a cantrip. Yeah.
I see how it is.
Hey, if you spent your hero point on the days, I might have considered it.
Alright.
Do frightened and flat-footed not stack AC debuffs?
They do.
Wouldn't that... Oh, wait, no. That would be 16. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he was close. No doubt about that.
Alright.
You have one action left, though, Tiberius.
Hmm.
Does it rhyme with field?
Yeah, no, it'll rhyme. It'll rhyme with field.
It'll rhyme with field? Alright.
No, never yield, Tiberius.
Yeah, I am yielding. I do surrender.
So shield? Alright.
Yeah.
Well, hey team. First things first. Actually, no, they stay frightened until the end of their turn. Well, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to attempt to break out.
They can try.
I mean, they got decent acrobatics.
I've got pretty good athletics. That's probably gonna beat me.
If your assurance is 19, that will beat you.
Well, it goes against the DC, but that's still 21.
Well, and he is no longer grabbed.
He will be next turn.
So, that's one action. So,
if only I were a fighter.
if only. Well, we'll move to there. So, 2 actions.
You're so
Ow.
lucky I can't attack of opportunity you.
And that is him done.
Hear me out. I think the War Priest should get attack of opportunity as a feat that they can take.
Yeah.
I do agree. But he is starting to holler and shout.
Oh god, this isn't good.
As he
gotta
starts
put
running
it
off.
This is
And
my
let it all out.
action.
You scream and shout and let it out.
I actually really like that song, and
It's a good song.
I'm disappointed it did not get more attention.
What do
Will I
you mean?
am
It
and
got
Britney,
so much
bitch.
fucking attention. What are you talking? That thing couldn't
Cyber!
stop playing.
I don't remember it playing much at all. I just remember it's by Will I Am and Britney, bitch.
Alright, I
Also,
remember
Australia
that
probably had a
song.
different experience.
Alright,
I think I remember that
don't-
there was a Minecraft parody of it.
That checks out.
Yeah, there were a lot of
I
Minecraft
don't know
parodies.
what on earth the Minecraft parody was about, but like I just have this like memory.
26?
I suspect even Minecraft doesn't know what it was about.
That will hit. While I would take away his frightened condition.
Alright,
10
points of damage.
He'll take
Yep.
that.
Okay, great, because I got another one just for him. $27. 9 points of damage.
That will be enough either way. I think that... Yeah. And with the second shot in his back, you put him down. So, move 2 shots.
That's it.
That's it.
Although I will be honest, I don't think him shouting would have been any louder than Sniper's repeated shooting.
Yeah, no, I get that. But also, this is now in the shots are ringing out into the crossroads, as opposed to in a more enclosed space. Ridge, it is your turn.
It's my turn. I will again inspire some defense because we seem to need that.
Especially with what's coming next. I mean, what?
Yeah, Ridge is pretty sure there's gonna be some bullshit coming in through these other doors, so he's going to move.
Oh my god, a second stage to a fight? What is this? The consequences of my actions?
What is this? We're so used to not having that.
He'll go here and cast shield.
Alright.
That's my turn.
I love that there's almost no concern for the other kobolds.
I mean,
They're like CL1.
better the
or
kobolds you know than the
-1.
demons you don't.
That is very true. Eliza.
Probably gonna move here, and then I'm gonna bonk.
Go for it.
I'm a simple woman. Oh, a 10.
That will hit.
Let's go. 7 damage.
He's fine with that. These guys are scouts. They're not just simple kobolds. Move, attack. Do you have an action left?
I do. I'm gonna grapple this one.
Well, as previously established,
He's grappled.
let it be
Well,
known that
technically,
anyone
I
who
think
says
it's a different block than he's probably got a slightly lower DC.
Assurance is terrible, though.
Trap master, dude. I love assurance on athletics. It gives you a great third action.
assurance for
You
athletics
don't
is
get-
probably one of the few things that assurance is actually really good for.
Because you don't get multiple attack penalty.
Now, I'll note that me having assurance on, I think, Arcane is probably the most useless thing ever.
Alright, I believe that's you done, Eliza. So a kobold. Well, I mean, you're right
yeah, he's
there.
gonna shoot me. Yeah. Bring it on. He brought it.
He did.
I challenged him, and he really rose to the occasion.
Both 3 whole damage.
2 whole damage.
Oh, because of, yep, Inspire Defense.
Resistance. Which it doesn't seem to want to take into account, so I gotta manually enter my...
Oh god, you have to
Damage.
manually do something?
I know! Usually there's these nice little buttons.
He's gonna reload and fire again, though.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna miss this time. As I predicted. As the fates foretold.
Alright, our second kobold. First things first is gonna try to break the fuck out.
He can try. He can succeed.
I mean, they're doing pretty well with it. And going to draw his short sword and then attack.
He can try. He
There we
can
go.
fail. I'd like to opportune repossess.
Alright, end of the initiative. Set those boys to that. Set them to that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
It is. It'll be fine.
This is fine. It's fine, right? Right?
No, it is. It is fine.
At the end of initiative, things happen out of sight. Tiberius.
Okay. Are the cracked flagstones on the floor there really things?
There's enough stray rubble around that yes, you could do your telekinetic projectile or your telekinetic storm. The name of the actual spell
Yeah.
escapes me.
But do we hear things coming from behind us?
Not yet, but that's mostly an initiative thing.
Well, if the not yet is there, that means I do not know. Cool.
There's 2 kobolds left. Yeah, actually, Sean does bring up a good point. You could always do the seek action.
Don't think there's enough reason to seek, is there?
I mean,
mean-
the guy did go out screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
So if you want to do a
Yeah.
perception check,
Yeah, I'll do perception. I'll do a seek.
let's see how you do.
18.
18? Well, you do hear a lot of commotion coming from behind the doors over here.
Are there bars there like there are on this side?
Oh no, they're solid wooden doors.
Okay.
Oh, and trust me, if you could see through there, you'd know about it.
And because I've seeked, I can't really ready an action, can I?
Not really, no. Mostly because you won't have the actions left.
Because I have 2 actions left.
Mm-hmm. So you could ready 1 action, but you couldn't ready a
Oh.
2 action.
Fuck. Okay.
What you doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna read up on a spell to see how it actually works.
I think you should run over there and just shove a broom through the door handles.
Yeah. I'll just toss my staff in there. That'll be good enough, right?
I mean, yeah, you know, throw the staff of the Magi in there.
Technically speaking,
Yeah.
it's got better hardness than a regular staff.
Oh yeah. So animated assault is useless here because it's when I cast it and then when I sustain it is when the damage drops. So you can run through my animated assault like it's nothing, which is kind of funny and kind of sad.
All spells can't be perfect.
Nah. I just kind of wish that there was, upon entering.
There are
Those
ones
8
that
things?
do that. I know Cloud Kill is upon entering.
Yeah, I like that just would have been there like for how I think I see the spell working, because running through like essentially a hurricane. No, you're not coming out fine.
So, what you doing?
What am I doing? I'm going to.
You are hearing heavy footsteps approaching that door.
Oh, that's a 3 action.
Listen. Run over there and just shove anything you have between the door handles.
I cannot.
Ah, bummer. 30
25
feet.
foot speed. Everything's coming up GM.
Should be faster.
Fleet is a general feat.
Now,
Not sure what you're doing?
do I? Okay, no. Okay, I got it. Do I see hinges on this
Yes.
side of the door? So it opens in
Yes.
towards us. It opens towards us. Cool. Could I? I know that I understand that this would require a skill check, but could I use telekinetic projectile
Oh, yeah.
to essentially pin a stone and wedge the door?
Oh, okay.
Just get a door stop.
Pretty
Stop it
much.
from opening.
Give me an Arcana check, and we'll see how you go with it.
Yeah, that's why I understood that this would require a skill check. I was
All
You
right.
Always hero point it.
yeah. No, I'll leave it as is.
As is.
It's kind of a cool thing, but it's not cool enough for me to go, huzzah, let's hero point it because I can only pin one door.
Fair enough.
Well, you using telekinetic projectile, you try your best to wedge the door shut as you hear the heavy footfalls kind of approach you quickly. And we'll just reveal him.
I see a bit of a circle.
See a little
Yeah,
bit of
I
the
can't
thing?
see shit.
Oh,
It's
I'm
big.
Yeah, like I said, I'm more worried about
Ooh,
the size.
Oh boy.
That's a big boy.
That is a big boy.
Approaching the door, you hear the heavy footfalls, and you thought they were a little bit closer than they actually were. But as is typical for large-sized creatures, the noise just gets louder as it quickly approaches it, and with one immediately push, the doors fly open. The debris you had wedged upon the door flies everywhere, as standing in the doorway is an ogre.
Oh. I know who should take care of this.
Donkey?
No, our
Sniper.
sniper.
Oh god.
One shot McGee.
Actually, it's
Well-
supposed to be a princess who's secretly an ogre they'll fall madly in love and then get married. Although there's some tension when they first start falling in love.
But I have to double check his land speed. Yeah, no, that was 3 actions. Because it's an interact to open a door. Sniper!
Hi. Oh boy.
I'm looking at the fact that there's 2 more in there.
Yes, 2 more.
Yeah.
At least 2 more. There could be a third. I don't know.
Fired my last shot with the frontier repeater.
Yep, panic shot.
Fire the
Hero
missile.
point. Hero point.
Oh, you're hero pointing that?
Then you get another.
Our hero points hate us.
They just don't want to
They
see
ain't
these
gonna
ogres
hit.
go down quickly.
No, they don't. Alright. My next action. Drop gun as a free action. Pull out the shotgun, and I'm gonna
Yep.
take a first shot with my boomstick.
Is it in range?
It is,
No, 30 feet, yeah.
and then it's gonna do some splash damage too. Double barrel shotgun. What do you mean? There's no? Oh my god! I just gave you Fucking ammunition. We were doing so good.
You were
Okay,
doing really
here we
well.
go. Try it again. All right. Double barrel shotgun. Kaplow. That fucking crits.
Of course it
God.
fucking does.
I couldn't do that with the other gun. 14 points of damage.
He's okay with that.
Yeah, I know he's okay with that, but the guy also in the back takes point of splash damage.
He too is okay with that.
I'm aware because I ran out of ammo on my other one, and I didn't have 3 actions to reload everything.
That's fine. I don't mind if you drop it. You can drop your rifle. It's fine.
Swear to God.
Tiberius
That's it.
is just prone to telekinetic projectiling them.
I'm looking at Telekinetic Assault to
Yeah.
hit as many as possible.
I believe that's you done though, Sniper.
Yes, that is my turn.
Ridge.
Okay, I'm going to guess that we're going to want courage for this instead of defense to do as much damaging as possible. Does that
Probably.
sound fair?
Just a bit.
Fair enough.
Then, I cast courage on the party, and, what is the recall knowledge check for ogres?
Ooh. Society. Society
have
or
that-
something specific. If you have
I
bodic
do.
knowledge.
I do not have that, but I have society trained. Tiberius, do you want to spend the action, or shall I?
I could definitely spend the action. If you wanted to, I could use Lord Master 2 to give you essentially roll twice and take the better.
I mean, I'm okay with you taking action. I just figured if you needed all 3, I could do that one.
I only
Sure.
need 2. If you have a better option for your third action, you can.
Okay.
It's entirely up to you.
Then in that case, I am going to. Do I? Oh, I can't. Fuck. That one's too close. Or
Yeah, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Because they're just that little bit out of the 30 foot.
okay, where's my ruler? Hmm.
I see multiple people are calculating distances.
Yeah, the ruler is a friend. Actually, not much of a friend right now.
Well, I'm doing it because I have a 10-foot emanation spell I'm going to be casting
Yeah.
on my turn.
Okay, for my remaining 2 actions, I'm just gonna daze the ogre.
In the doorway?
Yeah,
Alright.
because that's 60 feet, so I can do that.
And
No,
their
I'm-
will
I'm-
saves are pretty terrible.
That's
I'm
right,
looking
they
at,
are.
At Animated Assault's 120 foot range, and I'm like, that's just beautiful.
So 4 charisma in the face, that ogre, and I'm done.
Alright. I have a choice here. I could either use a javelin, or he could just get up in there.
Whichever one hurts less, please.
I mean, the javelin would hurt less, but he's gonna be a clever potts. Move to there, and then he's gonna try to hit you with his ogre hook.
You don't need to, though.
I know he doesn't need to, but he wants to. He likes to.
I don't like the way you say that.
Hulk smash.
Does a 24 hit?
Yes.
10 damage. I rolled pretty terribly for that.
It's okay, he'll take it.
But he swings out with this massive rusty iron hook and it takes out a bit of your side. That is him done. Eliza.
Ooh, me.
They're dealing with ogres and stuff like that, but you still have 2 kobolds.
Yeah, I still got these kobolds. I don't even know that there's. I hear them going after things, but I gotta
It's
work
fine.
on these kobolds.
They got it. It's cool. It's chill.
Magic weapon would be pretty nice right now. Just saying.
Whoops. No more. It's gone now.
Unfortunately, I did not prepare for magic weapon.
Well, shit.
I would love to bonk this little guy
Go for
in
it.
front of me.
Nothing worse than being flanked by kobolds. That'll hit.
Let's go. 7 damage.
He's still up. Not by much, though.
I should have stoked flames. Yeah, we're just gonna bonk again.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Multiple attack penalty.
That'll hit.
Oh, yeah.
That'll
There we
do
go,
it.
Good damage. And then I'll run across. Let's. Cool. See that there's some. There's
Is the
there's
doors
a door
alternate?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doors alternate, and then I'll be in here.
Alright.
Eliza looks over there and she's like, cool, ogres. Gotta fight this kobold.
One of these things is more important. Speaking of,
The Kobold's actually just secret mastermind.
I did consider it, but no. Well, good news, these guys aren't gonna have enough. Switch to sniper's view. And he is going to chuck a javelin at you, Tiberius.
How about you don't?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
100%, yeah.
If it makes you feel better, they're not as accurate with the javelins. Does the 21 hit?
Just does, yes. I've got 20 AC.
Oh, the round that I didn't do.
I mean, 21,
Okay.
it still would have hit.
12
but you would've
damage
taken
as you
One
take,
less damage.
as you take the javelin to the shoulder.
That's a third of my HP. Let's go.
At least it wasn't to the knee.
That's very
Then
true,
you would
'cause-
have had to retire.
which probably wouldn't be too bad for Tiberius, actually, because I imagine it'd be like just the scullery life.
Yeah.
Now this guy... These kobolds, these ogres are somewhat intelligent and have some tactics about them. So he moves into the other hallway and attacks you, Sniper, with his hook.
Oh man, I'm just getting hooked on this game.
While they have a they
there's
have
so
a 10-foot
many.
reach.
Oh my god. That'll hit.
At least they're not critting.
Max,
Means you take 17 as another hook digs into your cybernetic bone and flesh.
That all you got? I could finish that sentence.
Yeah, no, the two of them kind of just share a look and smile. Because, you know, they'll have 3 actions next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And the poor little kobold down the bottom here, who's going to be a little champion, and he's going to try to attack you with a short sword. Eliza?
Yeah. 1v1.
He's hoping if he can delay you for long enough, the ogres will finish the job.
There's
I
a
mean,
chance.
it's a good plan.
And
I
it's
mean,
working.
Hits.
What
For a
damage?
total of 1 damage. Too bad we didn't have, inspired defense.
Wow. Just gonna make Ridge feel bad about it?
Nah, it's fine.
I'll make him feel bad about it, but you
And
know.
for his last action, he's gonna try and do it again.
Gonna in fact fail.
You can try to make me feel bad about it, but I won't make you feel good with a soothe spell.
And there you have it. Tiberius!
Try to make me feel bad about
Okay.
it. I'm not gonna make you feel
So-
good. Vote of the
Alrighty.
century.
First things first, I'm going to
This feels like a good time for Telekinetic Assault.
yeah, it does. I want to read something first.
Yep. Apparently it does damage.
Yeah, they've added that to pretty much every spell in the game.
Yeah.
It does 0 damage though. Anyways, I'm gonna do Recall Knowledge. That's a free action for Lore Master's Etude. I'm going to do Society.
Yep. Because this is a society check. They have their own society. They live in a society, if you will.
29.
Yep. What do you want to know?
Okay. Is that a crit success?
I'm gonna say yes. Yes.
Okay, I wanted to ask that before I got into my questions because.
That's
first things
fine.
first. Do they have any reactions?
No.
Okay, they're called Ogre Warriors, so I was like, are they level 1 fighters? Do they have attack of opportunity?
No, they're just
Important
big and
question.
chunky.
Alrighty. Okay. I have something in my mind. But do you guys, any of you, want to know anything in particular?
I'm
Weaknesses, maybe?
assuming their worst save is will.
Probably will, then reflex, then
Then
fortitude.
fortitude. Yeah, it's they're
Based
looking at
on the
them.
fact that they're big.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the difference is, if it's big, then usually it goes will fortitude or will reflex fortitude. If they're small, then it's usually will fortitude reflex.
Yeah. Well, sometimes will's big if they're kind of like castery,
Yeah.
or if they're a bit smartikins. So weaknesses. I'm looking between weaknesses and resistances.
Well, I can help you out
because-
there. They don't have
they got-
weaknesses. They don't have resistances.
Well, that gives that information.
Are ogres the ones that regenerate?
Trolls.
No, that's
trolls.
trolls.
Okay. I knew that it was like one of
well-
the swampy ones.
Well, that gives me that, and they all need to make reflex saves.
Alright.
Yeah, because there's the 10-foot burst, and it hits all. Ooh, I like the critical failure.
I bet you do. Alright, roll your damage.
That's 16.
Alright.
That was a good roll.
He'll take
One of them
double.
takes double. Ooh, baby. A double.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
And he'll take half. Well, in response to that, they say something in giant, and there's a lot of nodding.
Oh no.
And
Probably killed the wizard.
yeah,
Yeah.
considering they're all
I-
kind of looking at Tiberius very, very keenly.
Tiberius kind of half-heartedly waves, terror filling his eyes.
Our
Yeah,
boy in the
I do
back.
not speak giant.
Oh,
You know,
he's
It
gonna.
is unfortunate how we are standing.
Well, he's gonna try something.
No.
Oh?
Hey, sniper.
Fuck me. Yep.
He's gonna shove you.
Can they do that? He's like standing inside his own friend's personal space.
Yeah, it's a crowded space, so he has a -2 to it.
Okay.
And pretty much, if he doesn't succeed at this, he's kind of screwed.
Is he though?
Booyah!
Now, does the
Fuck
crowded space
me.
incur to reflex saves too?
It doesn't matter. He's gonna get it either way.
I see now.
Because as a part of the shove action, he can follow up to 5 feet. And now that he's there... Hey Tiberius, how you doing?
I'm fine. I see Bigfoot incoming, but it's normal.
-5 though.
That'll still hit.
That will hit.
Not a crit, but it'll hit.
God damn, I need a reaction.
Oh, 17, okay. Now, Telekinetic Assault is sustained, right?
Yes.
Alright, I need you to do a caster level check then.
Let me.
Usually you can just do a spell attack roll and it'll give you a good idea.
Oh, I can just do a spell attack roll. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm just trying to find a easy way of doing that. Oh, I'll just bring up Ray Frost. $24.
You're fine.
Cool.
Your spell is not disrupted.
Cool.
So their next option will just be to bring you unconscious. But that's him done. Sniper,
wait. I have a thing.
you have a thing?
I would
Aww.
like to. I think Tiberius is within 30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Um,
measure, but you got it.
would 3 damage less do anything for you, Tiberius?
Yeah. Bring me up from
Ah.
7 to 10.
Yeah, I'll take that. So,
Aw.
you get 3 less damage.
Sounds good to me. There we go. Yeah, I'm up to Badlander.
Yeah. Figured
Stay
I'd
back.
get some use out of that one. I'm probably not gonna use it again, but you know.
I will
It's something.
take it. Eliza, some healing would be nice.
I gotta
So-
deal with this kobold.
Okay. Well, it was nice knowing you.
Sniper,
Fine, Tiberius.
Oh, okay.
this is fine. You've one-shot
This is-
ogres before.
Yeah.
Not in this campaign.
No, technically not.
Take a shot with my double-barreled at
Yep.
the one in front of me. That'll get them all in the splash damage, by the way.
Nice.
I mean,
14 points of damage.
Oh yeah, crit and max once again.
I'm telling you, this double-barreled shotgun is blessed.
You're doing really well with it. And the ones to either
Yeah.
side will take the -1.
So, I'm gonna do something a little dangerous, but can buy at least a few actions. I'm gonna slam the door in front of me.
Interact
Running,
action to close
reload.
it. Yep.
Running reload over to Tiberius, slam this door, end my turn. They now both have to use interact actions to get to us, and that's where I have to end my turn. And
I mean,
my
Maybe a
double-barreled shotgun is now
crowded
reload.
space?
Yes.
Oh,
Crowd space.
It's crowded.
So your
but,
hand
you
is
know-
flat-footed.
Well, if Tiberius looks up or around, there might be 4 minor healing potions on me. I don't know why.
I got
That
some
would
too.
be specifically clocked in, but
Yeah, I got some on me too.
I'm aware of the current situation in that it's not exactly great.
Ridge,
Yeah.
is your turn.
I thought about my next
Um,
action kind of plan.
So, how about I cast Soothe on Tiberius at level
Okay.
2?
That frees up healing potion for probably shield.
So you get 17 healing. Wow, I undid an entire ogre hit.
You did.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, more than because Eliza gave me 3 damage off that, so
Let
net
There you
positive.
Go. Okay, and then I have one action, and Eliza, do you need courage or defense? Because you're the only one right now who's
Actually, you
In
can
imminent.
violence.
yeah.
What?
I'm actively
Thanks,
committing
guys.
violence.
I
don't
think we'll do
need,
defense.
Yeah, I don't
I
need
think defense
damage.
probably bigger for us. Yeah. Because I'm looking
That's
at the
really terrible.
the resistance and the added AC, right?
There you go. Everybody's defended. La.
What?
And that's me.
Give me a second. There we go. I couldn't put it on myself because it was like, yeah, no snipers there, so you can't use it on sniper. It's like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Here you go. You happy?
No, I already backed off.
You got it?
I backed
Got
off of you put it on. Yeah. So he's just like, okay.
All right. Ogre warrior. Well, there's going to be some arguing heard from beyond the door, mostly involving the fact that the hallway is currently jammed up. So he's going to do something out of sight.
Eh,
Mm,
yeah.
that's not allowed.
Oh.
But that will be him done. Eliza.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stoke flames, and then I'm gonna bonk. Roll the bonk.
That'll
That
hit.
bonk? Wow, I'm doing great damage.
Every bit counts.
And then I'm gonna roll the bonk again.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, that'll hit.
that bonk. Does it crit?
It does not crit.
Okay.
Close.
8 more damage.
Will that be enough? Yep, there we
Let's
go.
go. And that's my turn. The sweet double bonk. I really wanted to get it in like a single bonk, and then I
Yeah.
could, go into the hall. But
Well, they're really not liking that telekinetic assault, yeah?
Oh no. Gosh.
Whatever will you do?
Right? I'm so concerned about the things they don't like.
Yeah, same.
And our boy down the bottom.
That boy is a bottom.
Looks like a
Dang it,
bottom,
I
too.
really wanted him to take one more step.
I know, right?
He would have stepped on the trap.
It's almost like someone has gone to great efforts to tell them this is where the trap is, don't step here.
Yeah, but you know, it's the fog of war.
Very true. Alright. Tiberius, you're up top. Or you're up first.
I hate to tell you, but these two guys are still on the spell because they're at the very edge.
Yeah, there wasn't enough room for him, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hey, I'm gonna take the sustain to get damage off on two guys.
Now,
They have to make saving throw.
the question is, do you need line of effect or line of sight?
These are bars. Fun fact. So I have line of sight.
There you go. Alright. Reflex save for those two.
Yeah, I assume you want me to bring up the spell again.
Mostly for the damage.
Yeah.
Oh, you hate to see that.
So okay, so 13. My DC is 20, so they both fail, but they don't crit fail.
So, roll your damage.
I need to roll the D10, not the 2D10. So 7.
Oh, they're okay with that.
Yeah. I can imagine they are.
I mean, they're not.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You have 2 actions.
That I do. Yeah. I have 2 actions. Okay.
You know what
okay.
they're gonna do.
So do the doors here open in on us?
So, they would open in onto you.
Okay. Okay. I have an idea.
Gonna slot a staff into the lock?
No. Is this door within reach?
Yes, it's adjacent.
It's adjacent. Cool. Can I use craft to disable the doors?
This is a disabled device check that comes under thievery.
Okay. Because I'm thinking of taking what's on like the hinge and kind of bending it slightly. But, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that would be a thievery for a disabled device.
Well, seeing as I got a 3 in that versus my 12 in crafting,
Yeah.
I won't be doing that. It was worth an idea, but it is what it is. So instead,
Because probably what they're gonna do is get those doors open as soon as possible.
yeah.
And I wish they had a trample. I really do.
I don't.
Yeah. So mirror image.
Yeah, right. So, mirror image, as we see Tiberius split off into 4 different versions of himself, filling the space, making it harder to be hit.
And I thought 1 was enough.
Hey, that's I take personal offense to that. But you hear it 4 times.
Alright. Well. So, he's going to attempt to shove the door open. Well, actually, no, that one's just cleanly open. No, he's going to attempt to shove the door open. I'm going to give him a -2 circumstance penalty for this, because he is using the door and just trying to shove it open. So, go back to Sniper, click him.
Wait, can he attack us through the bars?
That is why he's
Not really.
He's not attacking you specifically. He's pushing the door open aggressively using athletics. This is why I'm giving him a -2 penalty for it.
Good to know I only suffer a -2 penalty pushing something through a door.
Well, these guys also have obnoxious strength. I know this is not
Eliza's pretty strong.
not
Probably-
wrong there.
probably- I imagine that ogres probably have like 24, 26.
-2. I mean-
wow, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they only have 20 strength, huh?
Only 20 strength.
Wow, they've got a base modifier to their athletics of 12. That's almost exactly the same as mine. Mine's 11.
Well, they're what? The same level as you, I think. But
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
as
I'll
the
take it.
two of you get pushed back, the crit effect for them doing a shove does not work. But it does mean he can open that door, and for his final action, he's done. Sniper.
I'm trying to figure out how he actually fits through.
Remember, it's
He's in
representative.
between two doors.
Yeah, the center of a square is in between two doors, so he's kind of just chilling in between two doors.
Can I count him as a flat-footed at that point?
He's
Remember,
flanked by doors.
remember, distances are representative. You don't fill the entirety of a 5-foot square.
Yeah.
The same way
yeah,
an ogre
clearly
doesn't
half
fit.
of him
the-
is squished in between.
These
Yeah,
are
he's
double
actually
doors.
divided- He divided himself into a whole bunch of smaller pieces to be in between the bars.
It's like
so-
mirror image.
Yeah. He's
As a
actually just like an
GM,
illusion.
I give.
That's three
also-
fucking crits in a row! Holy
Oh
shit!
God.
I mean, he's gonna be blocking the doorway in a second anyway.
10 points of damage. Okay,
So yes, now he
Sit
is
my
blocking the
dumb-
doorway.
running reload. Grab my gun.
One
Running
second.
reload. What? Oh, fuck me.
This is not an attack of opportunity. This is just a straight attack because they're rated for someone to come out into the hallway.
Uh-huh.
Fair enough.
Don't get me. No, I got a plan. It's fine. That'll miss. Nope, shit. That'll
You
hit.
have a +1.
Yep, that's with the +1.
So that'll hit.
22 is my exact AC. Yep.
Okay. 14 damage. You're still standing, and now you may continue your action.
Grab the gun. Running reload back. So that's one interaction on the frontier repeater. And I have a question.
Yes.
Is it an action to prop up the ogre to be in the doorway?
He currently counts as difficult terrain either way.
Okay,
And yes.
cool, never
I
mind
think
then.
the prop up is for cover.
Yeah. If you want to use the take cover action, you can use the ogre for cover.
I don't have enough actions to do that.
Because they're about to start throwing javelins.
Yep. Hold on, I still have a little bit of movement left. Can I just step? Nope, hold on, then I can't see anything. Get back here. Yep, no, I'm just about to go down. It's fine. It's the
My
end of my
turn.
turn.
I can help.
Yeah, especially
right.
seeing as it's Ridge's turn next.
Yep. Rich,
I
it's
didn't
your
think
turn.
Ridge was next. I didn't look at...
This
Do
is
you
why
want
pop-up
my
is
help?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I am going to attempt to lingering composition.
Performance check.
Is that? No.
Do you have a hero point? Remember, there are also 2 floating ones at the
Oh.
moment.
I do have my hero point, and session's almost over, so we'll go ahead and do that. There we go. I think that
Done.
does it. Okay, so now we inspire defense with extra time, so I can actually move if I need to. And I will cast a level 2 Soothe on Sniper, I guess.
Aw.
You get 21,
Thank you.
because I'm so nice.
Alright. And that's you done, Ridge?
Yup.
Now, I have to check something very quickly. No, I don't want dragon. I just want drag.
Oh, trust me, honey. Gay Pride was last month.
Oh god. It's less than a week ago. Jeez.
And
I
all the
mean,
corporations
both-
have took down their colors.
Both statements are arguably correct.
It can
was
be
a month
2
ago,
things.
And it was a week ago.
Alright. So, this is gonna look a little grisly. No, he's just gonna delay. Eliza, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah.
All the kobolds are taken care of, though.
Yeah, they are. So let's go. Not on ruler. Well, let's get. There's my first action. And then.
They don't have attack of opportunity as far as I know, so
Here is my
They don't.
second.
They don't. We keyed in that they don't have reactions.
yeah.
Just ready
Uh,
to
because-
And
Yeah, just ready to actions.
I'm just gonna bonk this one.
Yep. Speaking of, he does have a rated action.
He can try. He can
And
fail.
I think that's from Inspired Defense as well.
No, my AC's 20.
Yeah. We
I'll take
we're-
credit for it anyway.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But yes, bonking him. Go for it. Oh,
Is that a crit?
that is a crit.
Let's go.
Awesome. Critical bonk damage. 16 critical bonk damage.
You smack him one
And-
across the knee.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Well, this changes what they were gonna do.
What, are they gonna attack me?
Well, they were gonna drag their friend out of the doorway, but I mean, you're here, so
Yeah.
$28 will hit,
Yeah.
as previously
Hits.
established.
Damage.
So you take 12 because of
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna add 1 HP.
you.
Alright. For his second action, he's going to attempt to trip you using the hook.
He
This will
can
be at a
try.
-5.
Yeah.
Assurance athletics.
No.
Can fail.
And for his final action, he's going to try to demoralize you.
He can try. Does he know common?
He does
Or-
not. He's just roaring in your face.
So
But
this
with-
is
Yeah.
intimidation is linguistics based.
Unless he has the feat that I have.
He
Yeah,
does
unless
not
you
have
have
intimidating
intimidating
glare.
glare. So there's a penalty, right?
Yeah.
Like -4.
Minus
Yeah.
4.
I still think that a creature yelling in your face is probably more terrifying than a guy trying to intimidate you by talking. Just saying.
It would fail
Oh.
either way.
Let us
It would.
abuse the rules.
Alright, our boy who is near death. He's going to swing out with his hook.
Gonna miss.
I'm going to use one of my villain points.
Oh, wow. That'll hit.
Oh god. Can't reroll damage. And you're still up.
Definitely.
Let's see if we can change that.
I doubt it.
I love the confidence, I really do.
Yeah.
Just
Let's-
gotta manifest it, you know?
Manifest destiny.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend a
What's
villain
he
point
trying
on
to
that.
do?
He's trying to trip you.
Yeah, this is gonna fail.
Then for his last, he's going to try to hook you again. That's gonna miss.
Okay.
Now, for our boy up here,
What's he gonna do?
yes, this is going to put them in range of the Telekinetic Assault, but at this point, they just want to do violence. So, move, attack.
Miss.
Do I want to...
Move whiff.
He's going to attempt another hit. So I want to keep one villain point for the bad guy. Oh, wow. Okay, I see how it is.
Whiff whiff.
Tiberius.
Clearly, my absurd, unwarranted amount of confidence is really doing something for me this round.
Okay, okay.
You're squaring
Well-
up against 3 ogres and winning.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I know Sniper's taking a lot of the kills here, but... Something to be
I
said.
believe in you. Well, anyways, one action sustain.
Yep.
I need 3 saving throws.
Ba-doo, ba-doo.
Because I assume Buddy Old Pal here hasn't moved.
Nah.
That's a failure. That's a failure.
Wow. Okay, guys.
Oh, let's
I see how it
go! 3 points of damage.
Yeah.
I've consistently done damage this whole entire combat.
And it has
Oh.
been eating away at them.
Now
I
the real
personally love how Eliza just came in to save the day, you know?
Do I really want to do that? Do I want to do that for this fight?
Magic missile?
No.
I'd say save your resources.
Yeah, we
Save my
don't know how many
resources?
other hard fights are going to be coming, and I've already
Yeah.
used 2 of my level 2 spells.
Yeah, I've used all my level 2 spells except for my. I was thinking of perhaps Arcane Bonding, casting Animated Assault once again.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean, you
I'd
could do
say
that.
just cantrip it, because we don't
Yeah.
know what fights are
I
coming
don't really
up.
have an AoE cantrip, so I will just.
Well, just single damage one.
Yeah.
Just start taking them one at a time. It's fine.
Yeah.
The dead ogre is cover.
Yeah, I do have all my first level spells. And just in case, I do have Unseen Servant in case we need, someone to help carry treasure.
God.
Anyways, Out of the telekinetic assault. Wait, I should make sure that they are. Yeah, they're in range.
Oh yeah.
Out of the telekinetic assault comes a one of the flagstones.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to
That'll hit.
23 to hit the one in front of Eliza.
All right. Roll your damage.
Actually, I'll turn. I'll go for the one that's outside of Eliza's reach,
Okay.
using brain a bit more.
So damage.
10. Bludgeoning is probably what this one is.
They don't have resistances.
Because I just found out that it's not straight up bludgeoning. It's whatever makes more sense for the object.
So he takes 10 damage as some of the debris flies into his body, wounding him greatly. But you know, these are chunky boys; they can take a little bit of punishment. I believe that is you done though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sniper.
Running reload to here.
Yep. As you scramble across the ogre corpse.
It's fine. Another reload interact action to finish putting the clip in.
Yep.
Drop the shotgun. And I'm gonna take a shot off at this one.
I
The
feel
one
like
you got.
there is a firearms inspector somewhere who is cringing every single time. You're just like, I drop my firearm.
Well, it's not. It's a whole action to put it away.
Yeah. No,
It's not
I get
the
it.
Action.
I'm just imagining how like scraped and like dented and beat up this shotgun like these guns are.
31 to hit.
That'll be a critical.
40 points of damage.
Alright, who are you shooting?
I
The
think it was-
one near
I
death.
think it was this one.
That one? Yeah, no, he's gone.
Fuck me. I think he's at 6. Well, he's definitely obliterated.
Yeah.
Bam. Alright, that's 3.
I mean, I think the other ones are just barely in the probably in the double digits, just barely.
I can't even see one of them.
One's there.
Oh, I
Who
know.
wants to fight in hallways?
No, but I want them to actively start coming to me.
Well, good news. Ridge!
Hi.
All right. So I don't need to cast defense today for this turn because
Yep.
Could you
Lingering.
possibly put it in the chat though, just so I can?
Yeah,
check
so
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
have to scroll up. Thank you.
There you
Thank
go. Badly injured, but Eliza doesn't
I'm
like me to
fine.
heal unless she's down, injured. Okay, y'all are fine. Everything's fine.
Eliza could theoretically take down one of these guys.
I already got kill count. That's 2 for me. Sorry, 4 for me.
I
2
cannot.
for Eliza right now.
It's lacking.
Doesn't keep track. He just
Not
helps.
courage. But okay, so I'm gonna step to. I still can't see this one from here.
It's a horrible angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can see it like clearly where I am.
In that case, I will go booga booga at the ogre with a glare. So like the silent version. of
Yep.
that.
So your eyes meet across the room.
Yeah, except my eyes are on fire. And does a 20 do it?
A 20 will do it. And he will be
Alright, so-
frightened.
I scared an ogre. That's pretty awesome.
Their will saves are not great.
So that's one action.
Yep.
You know what? Action 2, I'll daze it. Or action 2 and 3.
Fair enough.
Since its will save is diminished.
Oh, so close.
If I done just a little better on that intimidate. Oh well. It can have 4 charisma damage in the brain. And that's my turn.
He's down to single digits now.
Yay.
Alright.
Right. Into the second in double digits. Let's go.
Eliza.
Yeah, so, I am going to, we're gonna bonk this one in front of me
Yep.
with my, my smoking stick. Oh, that's a crit.
Of course it is. Go on.
22 damage.
Yeah, no, he's down.
Well,
Yeah.
he had 6 digits, so.
He had 9 hit points left.
Oh, fun. And then I'm going to... We're going to throw out a 2-action harm on this one. So I need a fort save from him.
We've got good fortitude.
Yeah, that's a success. My saves aren't that difficult either. But we get to...
That's what, 2d8 plus 16?
Not plus 16. It's really annoying. That's only on healing undead. But, so 8 damage is what we're gonna do.
8 damage?
Yeah.
And he'll take half because he succeeded on that.
Yeah.
Every time Eliza talks about her smoking stick, I just imagine her in like a Hugh Hefner robe,
Yeah.
sitting in a comfy chair with big staff.
The staff is just a giant hookah.
Right?
yeah.
Drag.
Big bong.
Wow.
Man, I like how we're all on the same page here.
Alright, our ogre friend, the one remaining.
Gonna
He's-
miss.
He's no coward, he's not gonna run.
Gonna miss. Look
That
at
he is.
that.
Because, you know, of course he is.
I helped.
You
Fire
did.
defense totally helped.
It was actually the saber break there.
Missed
Same thing
again.
there. If it wasn't for the inspired defense, would have died.
That's exactly right.
You know, he is considering running now. I am keeping that villain point, though.
That just means
Oh,
that
look
our
at that!
GM
It's
has-
another miss.
There you go, Tiberius.
First things first. You know what time it is.
Yeah,
I'm sustaining a spell.
I don't think it'll take him down, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's see. Definitely not. But let's see that reflex save. So he takes 2.
Yep.
And then I'm going to yeah, I'll telekinetic projectile. With my attack roll. That's not gonna hit
Ooh.
his.
That will not hit, unfortunately. Just.
How was
Yeah,
that?
and I can't do defense and courage at the same
Yeah, no worries. Like
badly.
literally, sniper's just gonna clean up. Like there's,
Yeah.
it's fine.
No,
Just having to listen to sniper is gonna be the most annoying part of it.
Oh no, that's why I have counter performance.
Thank you. You
Wow.
are the hidden gem.
That means Sniper's not gonna clean up.
After all those nat 20s.
24 to hit.
Yeah,
well,
that'll
well,
hit.
well. If it isn't
Wait,
the
wait,
consequences of your good luck.
Wait, did you just use our remaining hero point?
Yep. That's 8. Then I got another one just for him.
8 was just enough.
That many additional damage.
You wish. He had 8 hit
That's
points
not a
left.
crit.
And yeah, no, the 26 wouldn't have been a crit either. But,
Well,
thankfully...
it's dead. I assumed it would be crit.
All I'm hearing is that Eliza single-handedly saved your guys' asses.
And that will be immortalized in song by Ridge later, who is a celebrity, so that's
plan.
how you know his songs will carry the weight of truth.
But hey, look! Kobolds
Like the
taken
dragon.
care of?
Telekinetic Assault was doing damage every round.
It was.
And
Yeah,
there's
that doesn't make a
there
good
was-
song.
There was only one success. I'm well aware. Pretty much everything Tiberius does won't make a good song.
Alright,
Ridge
well...
tries. He's like, I singing a song about this nerd who read some books and things happened, and wow, this is not working.
He shouted
And-
out
and
his
literally-
nerd tips.
Like a lot of the things that does make for a decent song have been like, not really like obvious. Like, you know, oh, I removed petrification on someone. I burned a spell that was around.
Like, I feel there would be some sort of audience for it, but...
No, it's not.
They'd
it's
be
not.
Yeah, like a
Nerds.
It's
TED
not
Talk
beat
audience.
down people.
Ridge worships Arshea. It has to be sexy.
Yeah.
And
And
burning an invisible spell is not sexy.
No, like pretty much. There's not much about Tiberius that the average person would find sexy.
So, with that combat encounter done, I will end the session there, because we're a little bit over time, but that's fine. But, first things first, Lost Caravan, Hooper, thank you for the raid. I do appreciate it, and thank you for entrusting your audience with me. It is very appreciated. Otherwise, we're 2 combats down into the Skar, and this isn't... It's not a huge dungeon, but there's a lot to it. So I'll be interested to see how our heroes fare through the rest of it.
2 combats? That was definitely one.
That was one combat.
One very big
It would
combat.
I'd be lenient to say 1.5 if you really wanted to push it, but I wouldn't go so far as to say 2.
Those
I
poor
literally
kobolds.
only used one spell that entire time.
Yo,
I
Wow.
same.
like 6.
I used to spell every round. It was
I
just
used
great.
at least one spell every round.
But
I definitely used one spell every round.
if you want to know what happens next, you will have to tune in next week at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. I believe it's still 6:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
On a Monday night, where we'll be continuing our adventures in Otari as our heroes continue their exploration of the ancient Llamas fortress / temple of the Skar. But this has been Troubles Menacing Otari for Tabletop Obscura. Sorry, for Pathfinder 2nd Edition by Paizo Publishing, presented by Tabletop Obscura, powered by Foundry VTT with music by Tabletopping. I hope you have a good day, a
Deep
good
breath.
night, a good week. I'm getting there, jeez! A good week,
Well,
no
you're
matter
still-
where
you're
you are in the
starting to
world.
breath. So it's like, take a deep breath, slow down.
The VOD will be available next week. We are going to raid someone. I'm not sure who yet, but I will check that as we are go to the close and everything else like that. But, as always, remember, we are the storytellers. Goodbye!
Bye.
Bye.
There we go.